TV stream.
Why are you whispering?
Because the alien will hear us.
Maybe let the alien know you can get DirecTV Stream with no annual contract.
He seems pretty excited by that, actually.
Introducing DirecTV Stream, the best of live TV and on demand with no annual contract. Get your TV together at directtv.com.
Requires high-speed internet and compatible device. Content varies by package and location. Restrictions apply.
Your favorite radio station.
And now you're up to date on the news. Stand by for weather and traffic right after this.
It wakes you up, starts your day, and keeps you informed as well as entertained.
You guys are absolutely the best.
How do you like to work here?
At the Fanatic, we're looking for commissioned sales reps to knock on doors, set up appointments, and extol the benefits of advertising with your favorite radio station. Send your resume to jobs at 1580thefanatic.com.
Hi, this is Bruce Jacobs from my friends and former employers at ProCopy. For over 20 years, ProCopy has provided Arizona companies with the best office equipment available from companies like Ricoh. More importantly, they provide outstanding service after the sale with a 96% retention ratio and award-winning technicians. 3 years ago, they joined the Flex Technologies Group, an Arizona-based nationwide group of companies that share ProCopy's commitment to excellence. So if you have branches anywhere in the United States or just here in Arizona, you can get great personalized service even during the current climate. We use them here at the Fanatic and Money Radio KFNN, and they never disappoint because they remain a local company. They give back to our community by supporting ASU and the Thunderbirds through the Phoenix Open. The ProCopy Foundations has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars. That makes doing business with ProCopy good for your business. Just give them a call at 602-ProCopy. That's 602-776-2679. Business people like it straight and to the point. So here it is. Bruce Jacobs here to tell you take control of your utility expenses by calling Harmon Solar right now. They can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Level your energy costs, protect yourself from inflation. How's that for straight and to the point? Here's more. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
Time for some smart saving. Give the gift that lights up their future.
I'm Arizona State Treasurer Kimberly Yee. This holiday season, give the gift of education by opening an AZ 529 education savings plan. You can invest with as little as $15 a month, and anyone can give. Parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, anyone. Visit az529.gov today and give the present of a brighter future.
Now that's smart saving. Sponsored by the Office of the Arizona State Treasurer.
Live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
This is KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240 U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Friday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. Looking forward to this weekend. Do you guys got big plans for the weekend? Do you have big plans, Randy? Are you doing anything amazing?
No, I just going to Home Depot.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's fun. I like that. Maybe. How about you, Keon? What you got? Got any plans? You doing anything amazing?
I mean, nothing amazing, but I will watch a lot of football, try and savor this last week of the regular season.
So I got you guys both beat. I found the bush where all the damn birds have their nests, and so tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., I'm gonna be out there screaming into that bush as payback for all the times that they've woke me up. Chirp, 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 tweet, 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 chirp, 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 tweet, 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 too damn loud. So I'm just gonna go out there probably about 5:30 a.m. and just go like that, loud as I can into the bush, and I'm gonna let them see how it feels for once.
Are you gonna shake the bush as well?
Oh yeah. Well, first I'm gonna scream because I want them to hear it, and then I'm gonna shake the bush and be and then of course the added effect is all my idiot neighbors get woke up too.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I don't like any of my neighbors.
Yeah.
I got some smokers over on one side, and they're horrible. They're smoking the cheapest of cigarettes. I can't even sit on my patio. There's a guy on the other side who he's either selling stolen goods out of his garage or getting domestic violence against his wife. So the cops are always over there. I can't even go into the rest of the neighborhood, but I'm just saying. So I don't care what happens tomorrow morning at 5:30 a.m. when I start screaming into that bush.
I'd like to have video footage of you out there at 5:30 a.m. because I don't know you to be up very early on a regular basis on the weekend.
No, I have been lately because the stupid birds. So if I got to deal with this, now we're all dealing with it. So that's my plans for the weekend. So,
all right.
And also I'm going to watch all the football. Of course, we're going to talk about all the NFL football that's happening on Saturday and Sunday. Special program note. Unfortunately, the GCU game on Saturday has been canceled. The other guys got the vid. So now instead of having that game on Money Radio, both NFL games on Saturday will be on 1580 The Fanatic. So silver lining to that dark cloud. It's a shame that GCU doesn't get their game this weekend. And then, of course, on Sunday, we got Titans and Texans in the morning, and we got Chargers and Raiders in the evening. So got it all for you here, right here on 1580 The Fanatic. So tell us about last night's game, Keon. It seemed like an absolute curb stomp. GCU taking down Texas Rio Grande Valley.
Yeah, well, the game actually didn't start off as a curb stomp. A lot of the turnovers on the part of GCU kind of kept Grand Valley in it. But second half,
in it for about 3 minutes.
But I mean, over the course of the first half, there were just moments where GCU could pull away, and
look at that. That's the game flow chart
but
right
you
there.
You can see the moment in the second half where they really start to pull away. I mean, this game could have been over in the first half had GCU been taken better care of the basketball early. I had a few uncharacteristic turnovers from Javon Blackshear Jr. He's usually a guy that doesn't turn the ball over a ton. Had 3 in the first half, which he doesn't usually have 3 in a game, much less the first half. So to have them come out a little bit slow, and I expect that to a degree because of the COVID and the gaps between these games. It's hard to get a rhythm. It's hard to get enough bodies in practice. So it's been a little bit tough for them, but they were able to put their foot on the gas in the second half of that game and really just dismantle an opponent that they could have beaten much more easily, much sooner.
So the UT Rio Grande Valley Vaqueros, which I'm told means Cowboys, torched last night by GCU. So there's good news number 1. I appreciate that. And then last night, the Phoenix Suns took care of business against the Los Angeles Clippers. I don't know who plays for the Clippers anymore or who was even on the court with them, but it didn't matter because 106-89. That was good to see another win for the Suns. They kind of had a bumpy kind of week or two, but now it seems like they're getting back on track, right?
And how about the old head Chris Paul with a triple-double last night, leading that Phoenix Suns squad in that victory over the Clips?
For the longest time, anytime I see they had a triple-double or a triple-triple, I was thinking, I like to eat the burgers at Dairy Queen too. I'm not impressed. But it turns out that means something else. So 14 points, 13 rebounds, 10 assists, and Chris Paul just defies father time with his play and keeps on going. So I don't know that LeBron is going to be as good as the years go by. Is LeBron older than Chris Paul or younger? I think he might be older, and it might be showing.
That's a good question. I don't know. Let me see if I can look that up somewhere here, as if I have the internet or something. Who's older, Chris Paul or LeBron James?
I think it's LeBron. Kiss the Cook says, not a fan of LeBron James, but for the first time, I have to agree with him about the Wizards broadcaster's comparison between Porter Jr. and his father. Well, okay. So about that, I heard about this yesterday, and the guy didn't do his job. He didn't do his research, but it's an innocent mistake because Kevin Porter Jr. is out there playing. And then Kevin Porter is a guy who played from 72 to 83 in the NBA. So this guy just thought, okay, that must be his son. And because it's Junior and he's in the NBA. So it was an innocent mistake. It was bad research. The guy should do his job better. But he comes out there and he watches and he's like, hell, man, you got to give credit to Kevin Porter Jr. Like his dad, pulled that trigger right at the right time. What he didn't know is that Kevin Porter Jr.'s father, Brian Kevin Porter Sr., pled guilty to first-degree manslaughter, spent 4 years in prison for shooting and killing a 14-year-old girl in 93. And then later was murdered in a bar fight when Porter Jr. was a child. So when you hear him say, got to give him credit, like his dad, he knew when to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Everybody who knew the story, and of course, I guess LeBron did, and LeBron lost his mind, was calling for this dude's head. But then, of course, this guy, Glenn Consner, comes out and says, I did not mean that. He's like, I had no idea. And he says, I thought it was the son of Kevin Porter who played in the 70s. I 100% believe him. And I don't know that we need to call for his head if it's not intentional. But how much leeway you want to give a guy for making a mistake? I don't think he did it to be a jerk. I don't think anybody's going out there reveling in the fact this dude's dad died.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was a bad choice on that announcer's part not to do his research ahead of time, and instead of just assuming. This is where the old adage about assuming, making an ass out of you and me, comes into play here. You've got to do research. You got to know what you're talking about. You can't just spill stuff over the radio. You got to know what you're talking about.
You can't do like what we do. You can't do that.
No,
in professional sports.
Professional sports can't do that. No.
So I think the worst thing that should happen there is this guy maybe suspend and say, hey, do better next time. But I don't think there was ill intent where they have to throw him out of the game forever.
And to his credit, there are a lot of guys in the league now that are the junior of players who were legends and so on. So and Kevin Porter didn't just play in the NBA, he played in Washington. So he probably remembers seeing Kevin Porter play in Washington and made that association. Again, he should have been more rigorous, should have done his research, but I can understand how that mistake happened.
Well, yeah, I'm sure he will understand. But LeBron is out there shooting his mouth off saying this guy should be fired, saying there's no place in our beautiful game for this guy, saying how insensitive can you be? We're not going to take this. And it's like, whoa, slow down, male pattern LeBron. Maybe give this guy just a half a second, before you start going crazy on him. Yeah. So I agree. I agree. Yes, Hefty Lefty. The size of the foot in that guy's mouth is pretty big, bigger than Shaquille O'Neal's. But, come on, pump the brakes on completely canceling and ending a career on a mistake. Now, if you can prove to me that this was intended, if this was malicious, well, yeah, then you ban the guy. But I don't know. Colts fan Dan says the social justice warrior LeBron James just needs to shut up and dribble.
But this doesn't even have anything to do with social justice.
Timeout, Colts fan Dan.
This is simply a guy said something really, really messed up, but on accident because he just didn't do enough research.
If somebody wants to speak up about social justice, there's no shutting up and dribbling. But on this one, he does need to just maybe be a little more compassionate towards somebody who just made a mistake. Not going to let you drag me into that right-wing stuff or left-wing stuff. People, don't drag me any stuff this political, please. Swazman's showing us a beer. Okay, what's going on, Swazman? He says, hey, are you guys having your meet and greet at the Phoenix Open this year? After that 2-year hiatus, I'll be there for Celebrity Wednesday on the 16th hole with friends. Swazman's a celebrity? He says, of course, it's a big event on Super Bowl weekend, but, there, I don't, Swazman, have we met? I think that was from the year we were there, yeah. So we don't know yet for sure where we're going to be, but we're pretty sure, yes, we will be there. So stay tuned and we'll let you know. Mr. Pringle says, Illini win. Another huge game for King Kong Cockburn, including 16 points, 15 boards in the second half alone. Big old Cockburn fouled out every big on the Maryland roster.
I watched that game last night. Kofi Cockburn is a real problem in college basketball right now because there's pretty much no one playing center that's as big as him, that's as polished a player.
I gotta say, anytime Cockburn is always going to be a problem. I don't think there's ever a time Cockburn isn't going to be a problem.
Jeffrey,
just saying.
We're not talking about the issue. We're talking about the player.
So am I. What the hell? Right. Great. Now LeBron's going to tweet about me. Great. 888-368-1580. Jagdog says, Keon, Clinton Portis, really? What's that all about?
Oh man, did Clinton Portis do something? I haven't heard anything new about Clinton Portis.
And why are you directing that at Keon?
Because Clinton Portis played for Washington for the football team.
All right.
Yeah, I'll look it up. I don't I don't know what's going on.
King of Kitten says, Jeffrey, it's still very dark at 5:30 a.m. Sunrise on Saturday is 7:33. Sunset tonight, 5:30. Perfect. You know why? Because they wake me up too early, so I'm going to wake them up before the sun comes up. I guarantee you them birds are going to be asleep when I walk over there and start just screaming into that bush. That's right. Revenge, baby. Hefty Lefty says, happy Friday, everyone. Looking for a new rye whiskey to try. Any recommendations? Not trying to spend over $80 a bottle, though. A new rye whiskey. Have you tried the Rye Creek? The Knob Creek? Everybody has. Yeah, what am I thinking? I don't know. We don't know what you have drank and have not drank. Lefty suggests. That's a tough one, unless there's somebody knows something about a brand new rye whiskey that's come out.
Clinton Portis, ex-NFL star running back Clinton Portis, sentenced to 6 months in prison for healthcare, $100,000 scam. He was originally facing 10 years.
Got it. So, Keon, Clinton Portis, really?
Yeah, apparently Clinton Portis engaging in the fraud, in the medical fraud, in the league healthcare fraud in particular.
FedFan says this weekend she's going to volunteer at St. Mary's Food Bank, but she says maybe I'll cancel that and just go around yelling at the bushes in my yard. You can do both, FedFan. She says, Suns look great and get ready. Klay Thompson's supposed to be back this weekend. Splash Brothers going to be back. And by the way, LeBron, let he who is without sin cast thy first stone. Yeah, absolutely, man. If it's, I don't even care about the politics. And I don't even care about the sinning and the stoning. But what I care about is be fair. Just be fair. If the guy made a mistake, there's no reason to run him out of town on a rail. Don't be a dickbag. Blissful Hayes says, I believe Kevin Porter won an NBA championship with the Washington Bullets back in the day, Keon.
He did.
There you go.
And he was a fantastic shooter. Lights out.
Wait, did he ever shoot anyone?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
But obviously, if you don't do your research, I
haven't researched anything, so I had to ask.
Well, that's fair. But I could see how those wires get crossed if you didn't look it up beforehand.
And by the way, the dude's dad was Brian Kevin Porter Sr. Does that mean that the current player who is Kevin Porter Jr. is Brian Kevin Porter Jr.? Because if that's the fact, why is he just Brian Porter Jr.?
Well,
but he was trying to make that connection on purpose. So of course somebody could make that mistake.
Well, maybe the current player who's playing in the league does not want to be known as Brian Kevin Porter
because
Kevin Porter Jr.
Then get the junior off your name.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of this isn't making sense to me.
Yeah.
Let's see. Fubar 1000 says, hiya, Blender Bros. Hope all is well in Radioland. So how much does ASU rule in college basketball so far this season? Go ASU. Well, they don't rule very much, but at least they're not a horrible team from Tucson. Let's see. Colts fan Dan says, the basketball player from Illinois' name is pronounced Coburn, not Cockburn. Well, wait a second. It's spelled that way. It's spelled Cockburn. So, oh, great. Yeah, like the guy.
Is it like Koch or COCH?
No. Well, I mean, I'm reading the text from the person who sent that in, and it says Cockburn,
and that's how it's spelled.
Yeah, so whatever. Fish Tank says, happy Friday, fellas, and fourth dimension. I've already cracked a beer, ready to take on the weekend. Let's get weird. Every defensive plan, we have to contain the Cockburn. Yes, it's always a must.
Yeah.
Dog Pound DJ send over. Jameis Winston has one less touchdown than Baker Mayfield, and he hasn't played since Halloween.
That's sad.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield,
and I know Baker missed a couple,
great.
but he played more games than Jameis did. If the health was a problem, the issue with me and him, I'm not saying he is using it as an excuse, but if it were to get used as an excuse, you didn't have to play. The team would have understood if one of your 6 injuries was bothering you so much that you couldn't perform well.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, Baker Mayfield played last season and this season. Am I correct?
Yeah.
And last season, I believe Jameis Winston did not play, but rather was a backup with the Saints. Number 3, I think, on the depth chart. Was he not?
Right, but I think this stat is only about this season.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. All right.
And by the way, Baker Mayfield nobody can say he's not toughing it out, but the injuries are not what keeps him from being a good quarterback. The fact he's a bad quarterback is what keeps him from being a good quarterback. And that's a fact.
Well, perhaps he's a mediocre quarterback in a bad system.
Lost Toby says Angels Envy Rye is pretty great.
Oh, yeah.
You ever have the Angels Envy?
Oh, yeah.
I have
very
not.
smooth, very nice. Yeah.
I have
a bottle in the, that's Miss Kim's favorite, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we just picked some up at the Costco.
There you go, Lost Toby. Good call on that. He wants to know if I'm providing the Scream at Birds at 5:30 a.m. Service to other folks. He says the birds in my hood chirp around 3 to 4 a.m. Then I'll be there at 2:30. It'll be $300. Just like that. He says, I also want to give that announcer the benefit of the doubt, but, also he was an announcer for his team. So shouldn't he have known that if he had a kid? But, LeBron's just trying to make it about himself, right. He should have known better, but we all make mistakes. And that one, not maliciously intended. So that's where I want to give this guy a break.
Mm-hmm.
Fighting Wampa says, so apparently Antonio Brown says that Tom Brady only likes people if they're good at football. Hope his kids are good at football, or boy, are they screwed. I think Giselle might be good at receiving. Hello.
Hello.
King of Canton says, Randy, I want a beer. Randy, I want 2 beers.
Okay.
Buklamak says, what the hell, big tough radio pal, picking on some small birds? I hope Sarah McLaughlin's not coming out to get you. These aren't dogs. They're not dogs. They're birds. Oh, my God. The texts are coming in faster than I keep up with them. So let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we have some more NBA things to talk about, and then we're going to get into the NFL. This is going to be a lot of NFL today, kids. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brett Musburger's Action Update. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now, you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now. Here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
Pac-12 basketball, 8th-ranked Arizona and Arizona State that was scheduled for Saturday has been postponed. The college football playoff national championship Monday night in Indianapolis, Georgia and Alabama, a rematch of the SEC championship won by Bama as the underdog. They're underdogs again by 2.5 points. The Bulldogs and Crimson Tide played in this game 4 years ago, won memorably by Alabama in overtime. The Cardinals still with a shot at an NFC West title and a number 2 seed with home field advantage in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. They're still dealing with several persistent injuries, including James Conner and Chase Edmonds in the backfield. Cardinals a 6.5-point favorite in the regular season finale at home Sunday against the Seahawks. For vsin.com, I'm Trey Westerberg on Arizona's sports betting station.
Referring a friend on FanDuel Sportsbook could be your ticket to Super Bowl 56. That's right. When you refer a friend on FanDuel Sportsbook, you'll be entered for a chance to win an all-expenses paid trip to Super Bowl 56 for 2. Don't miss FanDuel's biggest refer a friend offer ever. All you have to do is share your exclusive referral link right from the Sportsbook app. Once your friend places any bet of $10 or more, you'll both get $50 and you will be entered into the Super Bowl sweepstakes. If you or a friend has been thinking about joining FanDuel, now is a perfect time to give it a shot. If you're new to FanDuel, you can also sign up with promo code DALE1580 to get your first bet risk-free up to $1,000 and make every moment more this NBA season. That's promo code DALE1580. So see for yourself why FanDuel's America's #1 sportsbook.
Referred players must wage $10 plus within 28 days of signing up. Bonus issued as site credit and is non-withdrawable and expires after 7 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. No purchase necessary for the Super Bowl ticket promotion. Super Bowl promotion closes on 1/9/22. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342.
Without education, poverty follows a family one generation after the next. But College Bound AZ provides educational pathway to students starting in the 7th grade and turns dreams into degrees. Your support provides laptops and other things to ignite that journey. To help, Chicago Fest West happens Saturday, March 19th at Mesa Convention Center, and the proceeds benefit College Bound AZ. It's a celebration of Chicago during Cub Spring training through music, food, a classic car show, and more. Get your tickets at ChicagoFestWest.com today. Seems like everything is going electric these days. Electric cars, electric trucks. But what you save on gas, you pay for with that electric bill. With all these things being plugged into your house, wouldn't it be nice to save up to 85% on your monthly electric bill? Well, you can do that with 0 down and no payments for 12 months. Call Harmon Solar. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
Distracted driving is dangerous, Arizona. When you pick up your phone to send a text message, you're putting lives at risk. When you pick up your phone to take a call, you're putting lives at risk. When you pick up your phone to check an email, you're putting lives at risk. And now, when you pick up your phone while driving, it's also against the law in Arizona. Don't get a ticket. Don't pick up your phone. Sponsored by Arizona Chapter, National Safety Council, and Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
The field is called a gridiron. The ball is called a pigskin. The quarterback is called a field general.
Y'all know what time it is?
And the kicker?
Well, they just call him a kicker.
Come on, dude! Hey, this is football. The NFL plays here. Catch all the primetime games, playoff, and Super Bowl 56
On your home for the NFL.
Let's go now. 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Okay, so on Saturday, both NFL games will be on 1580, The Fanatic. At 2 p.m., it's Chiefs and Broncos. And then at 6 p.m., Cowboys and Eagles. So remember that. So when you're driving around, if you're trying to get one place to the other, I got to rush on over there and get me some nachos. Well, make sure you put your radio on 1580, The Fanatic. Papa Mike texts in, says, Fubar, I'm amazed at how much you support ASU. And Jeffrey's reading those texts. Good job.
Yeah.
Fubar is a longtime ASU supporter. Now, he is a U Arizona fan, but he knows the greatness that is Arizona State University. And it's just heartwarming every time Fubar 1000 texts in. He just puts love on love on ASU.
Absolutely.
I mean, you beat them 77-7 in football.
Yeah.
And the little Stockholm syndrome starts to set in.
I can see that. Yeah. A lot of respect for ASU, even being a Wildcat fan. A lot of respect for the Sun Devils. That's nice to see. Yeah.
He just loves
it.
Yeah. Senior Wake and Bake says, sup, fellas? Yep, Jeffrey, I stream at the Bush a couple times a week myself.
Hello.
What? Heavy Metal Maniac says, if you get too close to the heater while naked, you can all... Okay, I can't read that.
Uh-oh.
Because then it becomes something else, Heavy Metal Maniac. Fish Tank says, that Angel's Envy Rye is great. I absolutely hate the packaging because it looks like it's made by Affliction or Tap Out or some other Tool brand. But the booze is fantastic, though.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah.
King Kitten says, birds that chirp at night here in Phoenix are almost always the lonely male mockingbird who cries for a mate.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
I think King Kitten says, I know that feeling.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, we can't help. We can't help you with that. The Jet says, happy Friday, gentlemen. Randy, can you pour me a beer? Just want to give a shout out to you guys and a great 2022. Glad you're all in the office on a Friday for a change. Also, give a shout out to all the ladies out there. Hello, ladies. A lot going on there with the Jet, isn't there? Mr. Pringle says, so the Jaguars are interviewing Butt Chin O'Brien for head coach.
Oh, boy.
That seems about right. Can I just tell you, I was going to do this later, but this does bear mentioning. There's a lot of people interviewing with the Jaguars for head coach. But the thing that really struck me was it's not that Butt Chin O'Brien has gone and interviewed with him. They requested him. They reached out to him. I don't have a problem with that at all.
Well, it sounds like the team doesn't want to go anywhere. Look what's happened in Houston.
Yeah, I just think that the problem with Bill O'Brien wasn't the coach. It was the everything else, the
GMing.
Yeah, if you don't give him GM power and you hire an actual for real GM, you could probably be pretty decently successful with Bill O'Brien.
Well, they're going to have to get rid of the GM that they have because he's probably the main reason that the owner too. You remember they're going to do the clown game? Everybody's going to show up wearing clown makeup and clown wigs and stuff to the Jaguars game this weekend. Well, now a local sponsor has said, we don't want to be a part of this, please. And the Jaguars are like, nope, you signed the contract, you paid the money. They're like, well, we're going to sue you now. They're so badly wanting to get away from this. They're suing to have their name removed from Sunday's game. Yeah, this called roofclaim.com. And they're like, we just, please don't even mention our name in these stories. Sorry. Now I'm going to get sued. But yeah, so that's how bad it is. So yeah, the Jaguars have interest in Bill O'Brien as a head coach. They're also talking to other people. Nathaniel Hackett is going to interview with the Jaguars. Let's see, Brian Leftwich interviewing with the Jaguars. I feel like everybody is interviewing with the Jaguars. Let me ask you guys a question. Let's say you're a guy who might have coaching talent, and let's say you're in college or you're a coordinator on another team, and you're like, I really would love to have my shot at being a head coach. Do you even bother talking to the Jaguars? I kind of feel like I would not.
Why not?
Because I don't want that job.
Well, I mean, I understand that, but it's an NFL coaching job. It is a head coaching job in the NFL.
Okay, but you're an assistant on a Super Bowl winning team. Maybe wait for a better team to come along. It's kind of like when the college players are really good and then they see what horrible team they might end up in the draft, and they're like, maybe I'll stay here another year because they don't want to go to that horrible team. Some players in history who have pulled power moves to just not be on those horrible teams. Well, if I'm a coach and I think, yeah, I could probably get a job as a coach, this is the only place I've got to look at. Either I'm going to not talk to them and talk to the other teams, or I'm just going to stay a coordinator.
There's a couple of extenuating circumstances here. First of all, they're going to get rid of their GM. They have to get rid of their GM. So you're going to get a new GM that's going to come in. And second of all, you got last year's number 1 overall pick. You're going to be drafting a high again this year. Maybe you've got an idea of what's going to help this team win. And third of all, they've got a lot of talent on that team. It just has been misused. So you're a guy that wants to come in. You like a challenge. You want to turn this team around and start your career as an NFL coach off. I think it would be certainly something I'd put a star by and say, I want that job. I'll take that job.
And I don't know. Sometimes, if you're not desperate, you got a job, you're in a winning team, you're not worried about your next paycheck, maybe this is not the time.
I mean, yeah, it depends on where your cutoff line is, because generally the reason why the job is available is the same reason why the college kid trying to duck an NFL team that's bad is kind of wasting his time, which is that the same team's going to be bad next year too. You're not ducking it for very long.
Well, not according to the Jet. He says you'd be a fool not to take the Jaguars head coaching job. They have a lot of talent. They have a lot of draft stock in the next 2 years. They could be a team that's hard to beat in 2 or 3 years from now.
Yeah, if the right coach ends up in there. So, like, to me, it's like I don't see the point in ducking the Jaguars because the Jaguars are bad, especially when they've got the upside of that. They've got 2 running backs. I know Travis Etienne didn't play this year, but they got Etienne and Robinson. Josh Allen, the linebacker, not the quarterback, on defense. I mean, there's talent on that roster.
Yeah.
And their wide receiving core is growing. I like the direction they're going in. They need the right guy calling plays.
100% agree. And plus, you've got an owner that cares. It's not like somebody like in the Bears organization where the ownership doesn't really care, or in the Lions organization where the ownership is just kind of non-existent. They're just bringing their money in. They don't really care. The ownership there in Jacksonville cares about this team and wants it to be good.
So let me give you an example. We'll do it from my point of view. I was always, my entire radio career, scared to death that my big break would come from an offer from a country music station. How horrified would I be as a coach to think, well, I'm going to have to go to work for the Jaguars now? That'd be bad. I mean, look at Todd Bowles. He went over to the Jets. He should have learned his lesson the first time. He was with the Jets. I don't think he's a bad coach. He was on a horrible team and he couldn't get any support. And, that ended badly. Remember?
Yes, but that was a horrible organization once again.
Oh, and the Jaguars are so good.
But look at the Jets ownership. What the hell have they done to improve the situation there? They keep bringing coaches in and they don't change the culture, and they're not very hands-on. We're in Jacksonville. The owner is hands-on. He wants to be a part of this,
which could also be a problem.
Well, it could be, but it ain't a bad thing to have a coach that's interested in forming some sort of a winning culture in Jacksonville. He's not just sitting there in his big chair, his overstuffed chair, just raking the money in. He wants to be a part of the solution, not the problem.
Of course, now I'm older and wiser. You might, bang, 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 bang. That was Redneck, the Redneck right there with that song. Hope y'all enjoy that music. We'll be right back after this short commercial break with more of your kind of redneck music.
Show us on the puppet where country music has hurt you.
I've already told you my origin story. My dad had all his kids in the back of the car, windows up, chain smoking while listening to some horrible 1970s country music.
And that's a bad thing?
Do I need more?
That's on you, pal.
Yeah, I was 7. And guess what? He and I smoke 3 packs a day every time we drive someplace. That's my hateful towards country music origin story. Plus, it's just horrible. 888-368-1580. Colts fan Dan says, Jeffrey, did you also think Sony Michel's name was Sonny Michael when he came in the league? No, I know how to say Sony. I always thought Sony Michel it's spelled that way. Well, what's your problem, Colts fan Dan? You're supposed to be on my side. Fubar 1000 says, ooh, Chris Ballard, new GM for the Jags.
No.
I'm trying not to throw up right now.
Yeah. And also his job is really good. I mean, if the Colts thought that he was going to leave for in the division, they'd back the Brinks truck up today.
Jim Irsay would slip some magic mushrooms into his drink, and you wouldn't see Chris Ballard for about 3 months.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Mr. Wilbur says Betty White actually interviewed for the Jacksonville job before she passed away. I think that's why she wanted to die.
Oh, man.
I tagged that last part on. He actually said, rest in peace, Betty. Let's see here. Swazman says, Jeffrey, I think you misspoke. My name is Brian. His name in Tampa is Byron. Remember how tough he was back at Marshall when they carried him down the field with a broken leg during the game. Mm-hmm. I think AB just needs to toughen up.
I don't know what he's talking about. Byron Leftwich.
What did I call him, Brian?
You called him Byron or Brian. Yeah.
I think he is going to be a good coach someday, Mr. Leftwich. How's that?
I don't know. Since we're hiring all of these young coaches now, Stefanski, Taylor, LaFleur, McVay, Kingsbury. Byron Leftwich, give him a shot.
Nobody's named Smith anymore, are they?
And he played quarterback in Jacksonville. I don't know that's a PR fit anyway.
What does PR stand for?
Public relations.
Okay, just making sure because with you young kids, who knows? LOL, HTML.
I have never
BYU
HTML.
Yeah,
texting shorthand out loud on this show, and
I'm
never
TTP. I'm just trying to be down with the kids. You know, I'm trying
hear you.
Trying to connect at that youthful level. That's all I'm trying to do. Boomer Sooner says, good day, Blender Nation. Randy, could I get a beer, please? Beautiful day in the Valley, gentlemen. Great weekend of football. Picking Georgia to upset Alabama. Well, wait a minute. That's on Monday, isn't it? That's
Monday.
We're going to talk about that on Monday because we have so much NFL to cover today in the next 2.5 hours. And plus, with COVID, who knows what's going to happen? Let's just give it a minute before we start making picks, right? Let's see. Hefty Lefty says, quit your moaning, Jeffrey. Those car rides built character. No, they built hatred. They damn near built a supervillain out of me. That's not character. Let's see. Colts fan Dan says, I am on your side, Jeffrey. I'm just trying to get you more listeners. Okay. He says, by the way, do you know what a Texas twister and a Tennessee divorce lawyer have in common? Yeah, someone's going to lose a trailer.
Oh my God.
Damn. Wow.
Lost Toby says, there are definitely worse teams to end up as a head coach. Take the Giants, for example.
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't know. I mean, right now it's between the Lions and the Jags in the basement.
Yeah, I just think that they allowed the Giants roster from top to bottom to be so incompetently drafted that Saquon Barkley is really the only thing on that team, and maybe Darius Slay on the other side of the ball that I actually care about and think anything good could happen there.
Just doesn't seem fair to Saquon Barkley, does it?
No, I was actually really sad when they drafted him because they needed an offensive line and they drafted a running back. And that to me is death to any good running back that you draft.
Mm-hmm.
Blissful Hayes wants to know if Chucky's going to get an interview in Jacksonville.
No,
yeah.
Chucky's done.
And now his brother is talking stuff I don't know if Jay Gruden will ever get hired anywhere because Jay Gruden's like, I should have left the name the Redskins. Okay, well, I guess the family that's racist together stays together. Okay, all right. Go
also, Jay Gruden was a bad coach.
There's always that, right? Chief Skulls Burner says, afternoon, guys. Byron Sandwich, drafted by the Jaguars, so it's a homecoming. Turn that thing around.
Could be. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. Yeah, he was drafted by the Jags, so this could be something that would be good for him.
Senior Wakenbake says, when John Elway was a kid and he lost a tooth, there was no fairy involved. He donated it to a local porcelain factory, and they still have the inventory. Wow. That is somebody sitting there taking a hit from a bong. Well, this is going to be good. It's not bad. It's very, very.
And they really thought about it.
Yeah.
We made that John Elway joke on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So
they
was
ruminating on that.
Really marinated with that joke.
Yeah.
Well, he's taking it to a different level with the porcelain factory.
Yeah.
Fish Tank says, to be clear.
It's not to be fair, so I'm not doing it.
Or we just, it's.
I thought it was a funny change
Try
of
to
pace.
just
there.
keep up. Just fine.
To be clear.
Georgia is actually favored by 2.5 in the championship.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And America is going with Georgia. Everybody I've seen today is Georgia's going to win. Georgia's going to win. I'm going to be, like Josh Applebaum says, a contrarian better. I'm going with the roll damn tide. That's
Roll
what I'm
damn
going
tide.
with. That's right.
Mr. Wilbur says Randy's dad would have applied for Jacksonville job, but he's dead. Right, Randy?
Yeah. Yeah, he's
Wow,
dead. My mom's dead too.
Yeah.
Most of my grandparents are dead. I think
she
all
would
my
not
grandparents
have
are dead.
applied because she's a woman.
Yeah. Well, I think she would have.
No, they won't allow that in the NFL yet.
Oh.
Yeah, we're not quite there in the NFL yet with that. Let's see. Fubar says, listening to 70s country, whew, boy, that is now giving me gray hair, and I'm only 29. Boomer Sooner says, so in other words, they would just trade years. LA's year comes here. Our year goes there for next year. Sorry, Jeffrey, not spitting things to I have no idea what you're saying, Boomer. What's he talking about? Did any of that make sense?
No.
I didn't follow it either, to be honest.
That's not a typical Boomer Sooner text either.
Oh, there was one before that. He said, heard rumors the NFL might be looking to move the Super Bowl from SoFi Stadium, possibly to Phoenix, because next year Phoenix gets the Super Bowl. So this year LA does. So then he's saying, well, maybe just switch them that way. Well, I think the word on the street is it'd be Jerry World. They would not mess up Phoenix's plans. Can you remember, once those things are announced, contracts get signed, hotels get booked, everything is already in motion. So it's easier for a town that's not on that short list in years to be able to say, okay, we can do it here. So I wouldn't expect Phoenix to get the Super Bowl in a COVID situation this year. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we have a little more NBA to talk about. This was trying to do this time. And then we're going to move on to the NFL. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Rosalie, the fantasy girl here. Obviously, I love sports betting, but what I don't love is giving up part of my winnings to casinos and bookies. But the other day, I heard about this free site called Big Zero, and it's a total game changer. Big Zero lets me bet with my actual friends and keep all my winnings, not to mention bragging rights. If you love sports betting, you'll love Big Zero. Go to bigzero.com to sign up. And if you want, join my group with the code Fantasy Girl. I'm placing bets on Big Zero all the time, so go accept a few. Just don't be mad when I take your money.
There's no doubt that Harman Solar can save you up to 85% on your monthly electric bill. That's a fact. Bruce Jacobs here. But did you know it's possible to get solar for zero down and no payments for 12 months? You can lease, finance, or even purchase outright. They have plans that fit everybody. Harman Solar is a family-owned, women-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harman Solar at 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmansolar.com.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. You've got to remember to do your testing, and you always need to be sticking your fingers. The new way to live your life with diabetes is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body, and it continuously monitors your glucose levels, helping you spend more time in range and freeing you from painful finger pricks. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day, or use an insulin pump and have private insurance insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call U.S. Medical Supply today for a free benefits check. We offer free shipping, 90-day supplies, and we bill Medicare or your insurance directly. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-438-8173. 800-438-8173. 800-438-8173. That's 800-438-8173.
Distracted driving kills in Arizona. Life is more important than your phone's beep. Stop the distracted driving, Arizona, please. Sponsored by the Arizona Chapter National Safety Council and the Governor's Office of Highway Safety, aired in cooperation with the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
Contractors, listen up. This is Bruce Jacobs. Are you missing out on jobs due to lack of bonding? When your current bonding holds you back, call Arizona's #1 bond managers at Constructors Bonding. They have the market relationships and expertise to take you where you want to go, serving all types of contractors of any size and license in all states. When you need better bonding, call Dave McKee at Constructors Bonding, 602-432-5929, or visit cbialliance.com.
This is Brent Musburger. Don't miss Pro Football Blitz, Saturday afternoons, right here on Arizona Sports Betting Station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
State Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Calm down, George. I'm getting to it. He's all like, hey, no mention of the Coyotes winning yesterday, 6-4 over the Chicago Blackhawks. Well, I was getting to it. That first I was trying to talk about some NBA stuff, but yeah, how about that hat trick? Nicely done by Larsson. Is that how you say his name? Larsson?
I believe it's just Larson.
Well, there's two S's.
Yeah, I understand that.
You got to stretch that out. Larsson.
Isn't he Swedish or Scandinavian or something?
Yeah, Larsson. Anyway, this kid's looking pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes, he is. Got a hat trick last night. Looks great.
First career hat trick. And now, again, don't get too excited because Chicago Blackhawks are in the middle of a 6-game skid. So it's not like the Coyotes are suddenly good or something. But
that's the second time this season we we hung an L on them and sent them on their way.
So, it's nice. So, but let's not make a big deal out of it, George. George is very overreactive. He's ready to fire everybody at a moment's notice, but he's also, when his teams even do moderately well, he's like, oh, look at that. Stanley Cup on the way for the Coyotes.
Yeah, not anytime soon. No.
But good for Larson. I appreciate that. By the way, before we move on to the NFL, did you see... why does anybody listen to Mark Cuban on that show, the Sharks? Like he invests in stuff, and they're like, "Well, what do you think?" Why would anybody pay attention to a man who would sign off? And he had to on this statue right here. That is a statue of Dirk Nowitzki.
Yeah.
I don't know what is going on here. It looks like giant anal beads coming out of his head, or that's supposed to be basketballs. Like in an arc. I don't get it.
It's supposed to be basketballs in an arc, but I'm glad that I was not the only person who had that as a first thought. I saw it and I was like, why? It's Dirk's signature shot is him taking the shot. Like, we understand we're not kids
on that one-legged kind of kick thing. You didn't need the other two balls there.
We are not children. We understand what happens to the ball after he shoots it. So you don't need to show us the other two in flight.
But why? Why would they do this? Why would somebody not look at that and go, it reminds me of something?
I saw it on TV yesterday and I went, that is not what they think it looks like. It looks bad.
I mean, I get it. It's hard to top Shaquille O'Neal slam dunking outside of the old Staples Center. It's hard to top some of these other,
the Michael Jordan where he's Air Jordan, but even then he's holding the ball. We understand. We don't need like two more Michael Jordan statues to show that he's in flight.
And he's not even looking in the direction that the arc seems to be going. He's looking to the right, like, hey, get one of these balls off here. It's too many. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen it, look up Dirk Nowitzki's statue. It's bad. It is just bad.
Yeah, I mean, the one ball would be good enough, like you guys said.
Just the one in his hand.
Artistic impression, I believe, is what the term is called.
Well, they went too far.
Is this the same guy who did Ronaldo's, Hall of Fame bust in soccer? Remember that?
And it looked like a Picasso
Could be.
of
Yeah,
Ronaldo.
could be.
Just-
Oh my God. Fish Tank says, I bet the Yotes to win and took the over last night. Nice little payout right there. Good for you, Fish Tank, on the betting right there. He says, guys, I have a bet with a friend that Deshaun Watson will not start a game for 17 straight weeks once he becomes eligible. If I lose, I have to wear a Bears cheerleader outfit to the next fantasy draft.
Oh,
if
boy.
I win, he has to wear a Dolphins one. Who's going to win? I think Deshaun Watson's probably going to play next year. I don't, he's laid low this entire time, except for his girlfriend's party where he's like licking all over her. But as long as nothing criminal sticks to him, he's going to be playing again. He might not, it won't be for the Texans, but he's going to be playing again.
Yeah, this has been a long, drawn-out process, hasn't it? It makes you wonder what the hell's going on. Yeah, but I haven't heard anything. I don't see why, like you said, Jeffrey, unless they charge him with some crime, I don't see why he would not play right away.
Well, that's the thing is this past year, the reason why it's been taking so long is because no team wants to be the first team to make a move. But I can't imagine any of these quarterback needy teams, and there are so many of them, wouldn't take a shot on a Deshaun Watson moving into next season, again, barring anything criminal hanging around.
Yeah, listen, I like you and you people out there listening. Pretty sure he's a dirtbag. But, it's all about the perception. It's all about what the NFL can prove or disprove or think. It's all about, what happens with these court cases. So, hey, Fish Tank, you may end up winning that bet. But that requires him to be eligible. And if you're eligible, that means you're going to play. So, yeah, I don't know if you should have made that bet, because once he becomes eligible, absolutely somebody's going to have him.
And
play.
actually, he's still eligible. They never put him on the exempt list.
True. Okay, that's interesting. So he has been eligible already all this time.
Yeah. Just nobody wanted to be the one to trade for him because
Fish Tank, you may have already won this.
It's possible.
What were you saying, Randy?
I was just saying he's the one. Remember, he chose to sit out this season. He was not going to play no matter what they did for the Texans. I mean, thank you, Texans, for paying me, what was it, $190 million in this new contract, but I choose not to play for you anymore. So he's just been sitting around.
And the Texans wanted that too. They didn't want the toxicity of having Deshaun Watson play. He showed up to training camp, he practiced, but he never was going to play.
888-368-1580. Earlier I mentioned that this weekend I plan at 5:30 in the morning to go out and scream at the birds in the bush down there that keep waking me up. And my wife doesn't want me to do it. And she's like, what if there's bats in there? She says, according to ABC 15, bat rabies. 3 Americans have died from bat rabies. So what are you going to do then? Don't scream into the bush. Maybe a bat flies out, bites you in the face, and you drop dead right there.
Well, I don't know that there's a recorded record of bat rabies affecting you that quickly.
Well, I know. I'm just saying. Now I got to wear like a catcher's mask or something. I'm not going to stop screaming at birds at 5:30 in the morning, but I got to look out for bats now.
Right.
Better yet, here's what you should do at 5:30 in the morning. You dress all in black so the birds don't see you coming. You put on one of those old style hockey masks, those goalie masks.
Sure.
The white ones got just the eye things all kind of like Michael from what was it, Night of the Chainsaw or whatever it was.
Something like that. Yeah.
And then you walk up easy on that thing and you shine a light on yourself and then you scream into the bush right there. I don't think a bat or anything else is going to come at you, pal.
So you're saying it'll instant nightmares for any creature.
Oh yeah.
I like your thinking. I might just do that.
Yep.
888-368-1580. Blissel Hayes says Byron Leftwich will be the next head coach of the Chicago Bears. And speaking of investigations, any news on the Robert Sarva saga? No, not recently.
I haven't heard anything. The investigation is ongoing. So
The Jet says, Jeffrey, listen, just like with the coronavirus, you have a 98.5% survival rate with bat rabies. Don't sweat it, brother. You'll be fine. I think he wants me to die from bat rabies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a mask up.
Like it to me.
Seems a little mean spirited.
I don't care what you think, Jet. I'm basking up there.
Yeah.
So there. Let's see. And he says, by the way, Phoenix never gets a Super Bowl. Just to be clear, it's Glendale out in the West Valley. Thundard Sam Barbarian says, if bat rabies don't get you, the bat wielding neighbors you woke up might bring it. I don't like me. I got to make sure somebody's rolling video on this because I'm in my yard. I can do what I want. And they come over the fence with the bat. It's on. Boomer Sooner says, is Randy suggesting it doesn't matter if you die right now or is it going to get you in 30 days? The rabies.
No, I didn't say that. I said I don't think there's a recorded incident of a human being dying immediately from bat rabies. That's what I said.
Oh, okay. Hefty Lefty says rabies are good if you need an edge on the football field, as long as it doesn't pop up on a drug test.
Yeah.
No, the story from ABC 15 says 3 Americans have died from the bat rabies this year. Are you crying fake news on that one too?
Me?
Yeah, it's right there. That's where Fooey works. You call him Fooey a liar?
No. I just said there's no incident of a human dropping dead immediately after being bit by a rabid bat. That's what I'm saying.
The immediately part. Got it. Let's see. Boogie says, LOL, no cap. By the way, I don't know if Byron Leftwich would be a good head coach. I hope so. I think he's drunk and texting because FWIW. Yeah, I don't get what you're saying, Boogie.
For what it's worth.
Oh, see, HTML, FYI.
Yep.
Joey Bag of Donuts says, any chance the Devils beat the Wildcats in men's basketball this weekend? Let me just make a prediction. The Arizona State University Sun Devils will not lose a game in basketball this weekend. Guaranteed. That is a lock.
Might be your boldest yet.
I stand by it.
Boy.
Big Kev
You're really
says,
going out on a limb there, aren't you, Jeffco?
Well, that's what I do. Big Kev says, Randy, news out of NASCAR yesterday. Matt Dinabitto has landed a full-time truck series gig with Rackley War Racing for 2022. Ryan Priest to run 12 races across the trucks, Xfinity Cup Series, and part-time real. Oh God, I can't read any more of this.
Newman Haas, yeah.
There's just a lot.
Stuart Haas Racing, yes.
Big Kev, that's a lot. That's a lot of text right here. That's a big text.
And it's good for Matt DiBenedetto to land a job. He's a good
That's what
dude.
he says.
And I would love to see him get back at the Cup level. I think if given the right opportunity, I think he could be a championships Cup driver. However, if that's all you can do right now is land a truck series race, go truck racing, man, and keep your skills sharp. And as far as Matt Priest ending up with Stuart Haas Racing, yeah, he's going to be like their developmental driver. I can't explain it any better, but he's going to spend a lot of time working on experimenting with the setups of the cars in a what do you call it, the simulator. So he'll be doing a lot of simulator races, and then he's going to be on the track 12 times for Stuart Haas Racing. So that's a good gig for him. He was just going to go back to racing dirt cars. So
it's amazing,
for him, man.
Most of what you said there, he said in the rest of this ginormous text.
Yeah.
So you guys are on the same level. He says, as for Ryan Priest, maybe we could be looking at another Alex Bowman situation from a few seasons ago, especially knowing Kevin Harvick is probably close to the end of the line in his full-time Cup Series career.
Yeah, I think we'll have to wait and see when Kevin Harvick's contract is up with Stuart Haas. We'll have to wait and see where he goes, if he chooses to hang it up or not. If he, it's really up to him. I don't think Kevin Harvick is going to take the road that Jimmy Johnson did and move into another series, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Swazman said, well, I know what you mean, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
Jimmy Johnson retired from NASCAR and moved into
football
IndyCar.
Coach.
No, not the Hall of Famer for the Dallas Cowboys. Jimmy Johnson, the race car driver, who is also a Hall of Famer in NASCAR. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He left NASCAR, and he's been racing IndyCar. Mm-hmm. And by the way, in case you don't know that, Big Kev, and the rest of you NASCAR fans, Jimmy Johnson will be racing in the Indianapolis 500 this coming May. You see what I'm saying?
I do see what you're saying.
He left NASCAR going to IndyCar. See what I'm saying?
At what time will he be on the Fox football show?
No,
Will he still be doing
different
Sunday
Jimmy John.
mornings?
No, one is about 6 feet. The other one is about 4'2".
No, I don't know
Finally,
which one we had
coiffed
because he's always
cabbage
sitting.
with the silver in his hair. And then Jimmy Johnson from NASCAR, had black hair, beard. You see, two different people, same name.
Lost Toby wants to know if Jeffrey dies, will 1580 hold open tryouts for a new host? Yeah, I don't see why not. I think that's a great idea. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Without education, poverty follows a family one generation after the next. But College Bound AZ provides educational pathway to students starting in the 7th grade and turns dreams into degrees. Your support provides laptops and other things to ignite that journey. To help, Chicago Fest West happens Saturday, March 19th at Mesa Convention Center, and the proceeds benefit College Bound AZ. It's a celebration of Chicago during Cub Spring training through music, food, a classic car show, and more. Get your tickets at ChicagoFestWest.com today.
Do we have a retirement crisis looming in this country? Rob Canyor here from the Retire Right with Reverse Rob show, personally inviting you to a private screening of the movie The Baby Boomer Dilemma, an expose of America's retirement experiment by Doug Orchard Films. Please join us as my guest at the Harkins 101 Theater in Scottsdale on Wednesday, January 26, 2022 from 1 to 3 p.m. for this private screening with Reverse Rob to gain valuable information about the future of Social Security, Medicare, pensions, and 401ks. Seating is limited, so please be sure to RSVP as soon as you can to reserve your spot by visiting my website, www.reverserob.com, under the events section for additional information, or simply text your RSVP to this number, 602-361-1587. That's 602-361-1587. I look forward to having you as my guest for this riveting film that could help better secure your retirement picture and protect your valuable legacy.
Medical data brought to you from Summit Male Medical Center. Over half of the guys over the age of 45 have some type of erectile dysfunction. If you fall into this category, you are obviously not alone. Don't worry about it. Do something about it. Call Summit Male Medical at 480-398-1000. Let our Arizona licensed doctors and all male medical staff using FDA-approved medication help you enjoy your life again. We guarantee it. Low testosterone, common signs are muscle loss, irritability, weight gain, decreased libido. Our testosterone therapy will turn you around. Discreet, professional, and we are successful. Don't let getting older get you down. Call today, 480-398-1000. That's 480-398-1000, or go to summitmalemedical.com. What are you waiting for? Call today. 480-398-1000.
Can you tell which pills contain the deadly dose of fentanyl? Neither can your child. Counterfeit pills laced with fentanyl are killing Arizona's youth at an alarming rate. They're cheap, easy to get, and just one pill can kill. Get the facts on fentanyl at talknowaz.com. Talk with your children. Monitor their texts and social media. Visit talknowaz.com. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
KQFN Tempe, also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM
and K2.2 Rolling Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
Hi, everybody. It's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Keon Rhodes in the control room. We got you guys in the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. Broadcasting live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And all right, so the question earlier was, hey, what's a new whiskey, a rye whiskey that's kind of good? And Lost Toby says Basil Hayden's Dark Rye.
Oh, yeah, that's good too. Oh, yeah.
Is it Basil or Basil?
The Basil Hayden. Yeah,
Okay.
Basil Hayden. Yeah.
He also
that's
wants
about
you-
that's about a $40 a bottle of whiskey or rye, though.
Okay, well,
keep that in mind. So,
That's within the price range because the guy said we didn't want to spend 80. So
well, there you go.
Lost Toby also says he's got $50 on Bama for the win.
There you go.
All right. Listen, by the way, our friend Josh Applebaum is going to be with us for some more Sports Betting 101 in the next segment. So if you have any gambling questions, be ready for that. Coming in the playoffs, I have a lot of questions. So, how you do things differently when it's the playoffs and things to avoid so you don't lose your shirt, that kind of thing. Swazman says, I'm in the custom straw hat business. And he sends over a picture of one of his custom straw hats, a green Notre Dame hat with the logos and stuff. Looks good and all. He says, yeah, this one is going to Simpsonville, South Carolina. My brother's a big Notre Dame fan and his wife went to Clemson. So I'll probably have to make her a Clemson hat too. But I'm looking at this and yeah, that's pretty good. So you do a lot of business with that? How do you sell those things? But that is pretty cool looking. I can see somebody wearing that at a game. The Jets, I never said that. I never, ever said that. I'm not going to read what he says, but I never said that. Big George says, did you guys see how the Houston Rockets are set to start selling one of the most bizarre hot dogs imaginable tonight? Their game against the Mavericks. Hot dog is topped with macaroni and cheese and bacon and Froot Loops. Well,
had me until the Froot Loops, man.
That's just lazy. They're just throwing stuff on top of something just to get attention.
Well,
now,
they got to do something. I mean, Houston Rockets are so bad. They got to do something to get people in stands.
so now, speaking of the Froot Loops, though, this might actually be a good thing for Valentine's Day. They're selling Fruity Pebbles flavored pancake mix. Now I'm listening. Now I'm intrigued. It looks like regular mix, but it has a pack of Fruity Pebbles that you stir it in, which kind of feel like you could just play the home game if you wanted. You know what I mean? Yeah. Plus frosting to put on top. Well, that's just too much. And I guess they got together with Mrs. Butterworth, so they're selling Fruity Pebbles syrup. Of course, it's available at Walmart, where all the best diabetes starts. Anyway, so yeah, they're putting Froot Loops and Fruity Pebbles into the pancake mix. So that might taste good. That might
I'm not like a sweet pancake guy. I mean, give me a buttermilk pancake, couple nice eggs, 3 or 4 strips of bacon, maybe a
Grand Slam
that
sausage.
Oh, I got you. Just get it all mixed up in there and get that syrup on there and that hot butter. Oh, good morning.
Oh, and by the way, Valentine's Day Froot Loops cereal is coming. They have those sweetheart. Remember those sweetheart things that have the messages on them? Well, they're going to have that cereal. So. I mean, I don't know how you call those loops, but whatever. I don't care.
No, can't call them loops.
Oh, by the way, as far as all you people who like to, drink stupid drinks, I guess now they're going to make alcoholic Fresca. I don't know how I feel about that. I like a nice Fresca, but it's called Fresca mixed, and yeah,
it's not your mother's Fresca.
5% alcohol. Pepsi actually announced they're going to do some Mountain Dew that spiked too. I don't know. See, that's the thing. You start rolling into the White Claw department, don't you?
I don't know about that. I mean, Fresca's Fresca. You know what I mean? Mountain Dew is Mountain Dew. It's not White Claw.
So is that, I don't know how I feel about it.
White Claw is like flavored seltzer.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you put the alcohol in that.
No.
You
I don't know if I can get behind
Fresca,
this.
and you pour the alcohol, depending on what it is. Maybe I don't know, maybe a little tequila or maybe like a vodka in your Fresca. Okay, now we might have something here. I don't think that's not a what do you call that, hard seltzer?
Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with my original. If you want to drink, have a whiskey, have a beer. The rest of it, come on, just stop. We have rumors floating around, and I don't know if they're legit or not. But Boomer Esiason on his little slap and tickle show was saying that he got a text message from a reputable source. He showed that to his co-host, and the co-host went, "Oh yeah, wow, that is reputable." And the source says that Aaron Rodgers will threaten to boycott the Super Bowl if the NFL doesn't eliminate some of the COVID protocols that he doesn't like.
That if this is true, that would be stupid even for Aaron Rodgers. There is no way that the NFL, who has just blasted right through COVID. Oh, half of your team is ill. Oh, you're the Browns and you're missing 20 people. Oh, you're the Rams and you're missing 35 guys on your active roster. Yeah, you're playing football this weekend. What actually stopped the Super Bowl for Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, I guess, it's also dumb of Boomer Esiason to even break that news because whoever is on the other side of that text might be jerking you around, buddy.
It's
possible.
I mean,
No, it's a reputable source.
Yeah. His co-host says, yep, that's the real deal there. So, okay. If that is true, well, that actually does sort of stay in character for Aaron Rodgers, doesn't it? That actually sounds like him.
Well, I mean, if he does that, you know what, Jordan Love, suit up. You're starting the Super Bowl.
That's amazing.
The NFL's not going to stop the Super Bowl for Aaron Rodgers. I'm sorry.
I could see him threatening to sit out the Super Bowl until they put a fat contract in front of him. That I could see as a good power play. But as far as this COVID stuff goes, come on, man.
Yeah, because in one scenario, he's leveraging against the Packers. The Packers would, if money could solve their problem with Aaron Rodgers, they'd pay him. But the other one you're trying to leverage is the NFL, and the NFL does not care. The Super Bowl will make money without you. In fact, the fact that you're trying to pull all of this stuff might actually draw more attention to the Super Bowl. The NFL will call his bluff so damn fast, it wouldn't even be funny.
The thing that bothers me is just, hearing this for the first time. Why is this different than what Antonio Brown did this past week? Abandoning his team.
Well, one's a threat.
Teammates.
One
Well,
happened.
I mean, if he pulls this off, if he does this, if he indeed acts on his threat, what difference is it between what Antonio Brown did compared to what Aaron Rodgers is threatening to do?
Everybody knows Antonio Brown is just nuts. Everybody knows that. The Buccaneers said, hey, you probably need to get some mental health. And he says, no, I don't. I'm fine. Clearly. And so, what he did was self-destructive, middle fingers, whatever you want to call it. What Aaron Rodgers is doing is wrapping himself up in the warm arms of all the anti-vaxxers and knowing that half the country, or maybe a little less than half, is going to be like, yeah, Aaron Rodgers, you tell him. And it's going to be a little harder for the NFL and for the Packers to deal with.
I mean, for the Packers, the NFL simply will move on. I know that Aaron Rodgers is one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever do it, but there will be other great quarterbacks, and there have been many great quarterbacks before you. The NFL will keep right on trucking, and I hope Aaron Rodgers doesn't think that this is something that could actually work. And by the way, to Randy's point, this would actually be worse than what Antonio Brown did, because Antonio Brown is impulsive. I don't think Antonio Brown wakes up any morning with any single morning of his life with an actual plan. Aaron Rodgers, this would be calculated. You'd be saying in January what you plan to do in February if you did something. That's so much worse, because you're basically telling the guys on your team, my making a point out of this is more important than the thing we all started the season planning to do.
Right. Career suicide comes to mind.
Yeah. And let me just talk about career suicide. If none of this is true, Boomer Esiason should be taken off the air.
I agree.
Should have never shown anybody that, should have never read it. I don't care if it's Schefter. I don't care who it is on the other side of that phone. That should have never passed through his lips until you had a little more confirmation on that. So, yeah, he shouldn't be on the CBS show. He should not be on a radio show. He should just shut the hell up for an awfully long time, because every little ounce of credibility he has will then be gone. This is the Daily Blender. We're just yucking it up. You don't come here for hard facts. Anything we get, we pass on to you. It's not like we're out there trying to say we're journalists. He is. And by way of doing the NFL show on CBS, and by the way he does his show on the radio, he is putting himself out as that expert, as that journalist, as that person. So we mess around here. We have no credibility to stain. He, however, could never be trusted again after something like this.
Yeah.
And even if you are on a show where you're yucking it up, if the moment you say you have a source, you are putting some credibility to yourself.
Well, we had some fat bastards try to do that before here on this radio station, and nobody believed it anyway. And they really didn't build up a whole lot of credibility doing it. So, Yeah, we've seen that firsthand, Keon.
I've had a source once, and the nerve-wracking, if you're going to say anything that source says is true, even if you absolutely trust this person, the nerve-wracking, the double check, triple check, are you sure? Are you sure? Even about like a minute story. This is, you're saying that an MVP caliber quarterback is going to boycott the Super Bowl. Well, you better be absolutely correct about that.
Yeah, and if he wants to try to say, it's not me, it was that source, you should have known better, buddy. You should have known better. Because seriously, that's too much.
They teach you in the journalism school, double check your sources. So if you get one source, you might as well have none. You have to get a second one to back up what the first one is saying before you go out there and put it out there. And so this is incredibly reckless if he's wrong.
Did you go to journalism school?
Yeah, I actually took broadcast journalism in college. You asked me the question.
Nerd.
Also true.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's probably fair. Okay. In a moment, we're going to talk about the Arizona Cardinals and stuff, what's going on going into the weekend. But let's get cleared up here on the text line just a little bit more. It's starting to log jam here. Let's see. Jag Dog says, Jeffrey, if you get bit by a bat, you'll become Batman. I'm Batman. See, where's the downside on that? Randy's Chuckle says, don't we all lose if Fish Tank or his buddies show up in a cheerleading outfit? I think it's their personal draft. I don't think it's ours.
Yeah.
But to be honest, the weirdness of this audience, I think we all win. Just Tip says, good afternoon, gentlemen. Coyotes can literally only go up from here. Larson's goal that put the Coyotes up by 2 goals was the first time they've had that big of a lead. Yeah, it's great, but it's a blip on the radar. You know, I saw somebody tweeting out trying to say, "Oh, there were staff and ownership and management crying. They're just so happy. These are the people who run this team. They care this much." How much are they paying you for that tweet?
But also that, I'm sorry, if you're in a rebuild, be in a rebuild. You can care without every single victory being one that causes you to break down in tears like you won the damn Stanley Cup.
Random texter says, so Jimmy John's car has a car in the Indianapolis 500 this May?
No,
is that what
Jimmy Johnson is driving in the Indianapolis 500.
In the Jimmy John's car.
No.
Thundar, the Santa Barbarian, says, the more the Randy explains about Jimmy Johnson, the race car guy, the more Jeffrey's eyes glaze over on YouTube as his confusion deepens.
Yeah. Yeah.
We should have Thundar, the Santa Barbarian, like typing subtitles. Yeah, parentheses, confused look under me. Blissful A says, so let me get this right. Jimmy Johnson, former coach of the Dallas Cowboys, racing a NASCAR from Jimmy John's in the Indy 500.
No, none of that is factual. Absolutely nothing. No.
I still don't know what's going on. Senior Wake and Bake says Eli Manning planned to donate his brain to science, but then he got denied after speaking. They figured, there's not a lot left in there. Mr. Pringle says, JJ Watt coming back from the IR. Is it Twoo? Yeah, it's Twoo. Don't know if you're going to see him on the field. I mean, coming back from the IR doesn't automatically mean that they're going to actually stick you out there and play you. Is there, Randy, this is your team. Any word on if you're going to actually see JJ Watt on the field playing this weekend?
Coming back from the IR means just that. In my opinion, I don't know that he's actually going to be in this game. And I think if he does come back to be active status and available to play, it won't be until the playoff game. Be honest with you. I don't think the Cardinals want to run him out there for the final game.
Save it for when you need it. And he will give you 195% when the time comes.
Yep.
Watermelon says, hey, Randy, you know where you can get that exact breakfast? The Place.
Yep. That's true. It's exactly what I was thinking of. Yeah, I believe it's the Hungry Man or something like that. Yeah.
There's another place you can get that, Randy. My house.
Yeah.
I make bacon in the morning, and then once the bacon is complete, I make the pancakes, and my wife saunters down all pretty and makes the eggs, and we're a team, and we make that same breakfast every weekend.
You know where else I can get it?
My house. Come to my house. Why don't you ever come to my house? I keep asking you. I'd love to my house.
I'd love to. By the way, my neighbor next door gave me about a pound of homemade chorizo. In my freezer right now.
Oh,
So I'm hoping
bring it to my
this-
house.
Hoping this Sunday to have some chorizo and eggs.
Oh no, bring it to my house. It's my house. Bring my
I have a little
house.
half pound. Maybe I'll bring that to you and you can have it. Only if Alex texts Miss Kim and says it's okay.
It has been so long. I really need that.
There's a real desperation in your voice there.
I don't want to be in trouble with Alex.
Nobody does, but I'll take my lumps on that one. Big Kev says, I already spiked my Mountain Dew with Fireball.
Yeah.
You put chick whiskey in your Mountain Dew?
No, Big Kev, come on.
Big Kev, come on. King of Kittens is flipping me off and showing me the beer and the water that's sitting on the bar there. You realize the whole flipping off thing was yesterday at King of Kittens, but thank you very much. Average Joe says the only way Aaron Rodgers boycotts the Super Bowl is he's already been eliminated. I don't know. He is that kind of crazy. You know what I mean? He is that kind of annoying and crazy. I could see him actually doing this.
He is
According to him. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Keith.
I was saying he's self-aggrandizing enough that it's completely on the tape.
Well, according to him, he's misunderstood. That this guy that he called a bum that said that he's not going to vote for him for the MVP. He said he's just misunderstood. This guy doesn't know him.
Yeah, well, we all know enough of him to have our opinions. That is a complete fallacy for Aaron Rodgers to say, have you ever had lunch with me? No, but I've seen you talk. I've heard the words you've said with your mouth, and all I know is you're an asshat. Unless there's some special secret Aaron Rodgers that we all have to, hey, can we have lunch? And then now I know you. Oh, no, he's a wonderful person. He's so misunderstood. No, man, listen. Okay. For instance, Randy, Keon, and myself, what you're hearing on the radio is us on the radio, but it's a version of us, some more, some less. You can get a sense basically on how we are. So if you have an opinion of us, it's not wrong of you to have that opinion. We're not going to take that opinion away and say, come on, unless you've actually had lunch with me, how could you possibly say I'm an asshat? In English with my mouth, easily. I could just do it. I could just keep doing it. That's all I'm going to do. Aaron Rodgers, asshat.
You know what we need to do, Jeffco?
What's that?
So we need to develop an actual asshat. We could sell them for $10 a piece.
The Aaron Rodgers
asshat? Like ass. And then we just put it on our heads and we sell those babies.
It says, I'm an asshat.
Yeah.
Well, we got to go into business with Swuzman because he makes those straw hats. So if
there you go.
You have him make some ass hats, and then there you go. That's thinking right there, Randy. Good for you.
Thanks.
I will cut you in on 0.5% for that.
Oh,
yeah.
Boy, I got a raise.
That's good stuff, man.
Right.
That is good stuff. Woo. All right. We have a lot of NFL to talk about, and we are going to do that. But first, in this next segment, Josh Applebaum from the Visa Network is our professor of all things sports betting, and we'll have our sports betting 101 class right after this. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
I'm Serena Williams. You watch me live on TV.
And I'm the girl from that alien movie you watch on demand. Our worlds have been brought together thanks to DirecTV Stream.
Why are you whispering?
Because the alien will hear us.
Maybe let the alien know you can get DirecTV Stream with no annual contract.
He seems pretty excited by that, actually.
Introducing DirecTV Stream, the best of live TV and on demand with no annual contract. Get your TV together at DirecTV.com.
Requires high-speed internet and compatible device. Content varies by package and location. Restrictions apply.
Does your company need bonds? Hi, this is Dave McKee, president of Constructors Bonding, inviting you to learn how our team can deliver better bonding than any competitor anywhere. Our relationships with every major surety get you the credit you need fast, and we never stop working to exceed your expectations. Call me personally at 602-432-5929. That's 602-432-5929 to learn how Constructors Bonding is your solution to better bonds.
We're on a mission to connect every Arizona service member, veteran, and their families to the support and resources they deserve. If you or someone you know needs assistance with benefits, health care and wellness, employment, or housing, visit connectveterans.org or call 866-4AZ-VETS right now to learn more. This message is brought to you by the Arizona Coalition for Military Families, the Arizona Department of Veterans Services, and Arizona's Be Connected partners.
Your favorite radio station.
And now you're up to date on the news. Stand by for weather and traffic right after this.
It wakes you up, starts your day, and keeps you informed as well as entertained.
You guys are absolutely the best.
How'd you like to work here?
At The Fanatic, we're looking for commissioned sales reps to knock on doors, set up appointments, and extol the benefits of advertising with your favorite radio station. Send your resume to jobs at 1580thefanatic.com.
Contractors need bonds, and the professionals at Constructors Bonding have been Arizona's leading surety management team for 40 years. We don't just deliver bonds, we make your bonding better. As the #1 producer with 14 markets, Constructors Bonding has the relationships and expertise to get you better capacity, better rates, and better terms. For better bonding, call Dave McKee at Constructors Bonding at 602-432-5929. That's 602-432-5929. Or visit cbialliance.com.
The field is called a gridiron. The ball is called a pigskin. The quarterback is called a field general.
Did y'all know what time it is?
And the kicker?
Well, they just call him a kicker.
Come on, dude! Hey, this is football. The NFL plays here. Catch all the primetime games, playoffs, and Super Bowl 56
On your home for the NFL.
Let's go now. 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Randy, I may have really messed up.
Okay.
Fed fan says, Jeffrey, do you realize all the guys that want to date your wife, they've just gone online to see where they can purchase some inexpensive baseball bats. Or killer bats or trainable fruit bats. I don't know. You got a good point there, Fed fan. I got to be more careful. 888-368-1580. That's the number to text in and be a part of the show. But right now, it's all about sports betting. As you know, here in Arizona, sports betting is kind of a new thing. And Josh Applebaum has been joining us weekly to share his sports betting intelligence and expertise. Josh Applebaum is the host of Betting Across America. It is on Saturdays at 11 a.m. here on 1580 Fanatic. And he's also the author of the book, Everything Guide to Sports Betting. You can find that on Amazon. If you're new to sports betting, it's the textbook on how to do it. Hey, Josh, how was your holidays, my friend?
Oh, they were great, guys. It's awesome to be with you. Happy 2022. And I tell you what, it's kind of Christmas Eve tonight if you live in New York, because there's huge news. The great state of New York. I say that facetiously. I'm a Red Sox fan. I'm from Boston. I'm a bitter Massachusetts better. We're not legal yet. But New York, they go legal tomorrow at 9 a.m. Mobile betting. This is huge for sports betting legalization across America. You guys just got legalized. It's happening all across the country. Since PASPA, the federal ban on sports betting was overturned in 2018. But New York is the big one, guys. Jersey has kind of become the new Vegas. It's huge on the East Coast. They have the biggest handles. But now New York is entering the market. 4 apps you can sign up with starting tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And this is just massive, guys. This could become the new biggest market when it comes to sports betting. And if you love legalization of sports betting, this is a huge domino to fall. New York going live tomorrow with mobile betting, 9 a.m.
So I'll tell you what, it's gone crazy here in Arizona. In October, $500 million almost in sports betting alone. And since it's become live, it's just going gangbusters. So people are having a lot of fun with it, and hopefully everybody's being responsible and careful with it. I was half tempted to try to find a way. Well, I was up north at a cabin in the snow, and I was like, well, I don't know if I can do this. And I was like, gee whiz, I should have just asked Josh Applebaum, can you bet on the weather? Because I would have made so much money between me and my wife betting on if it was going to snow or not.
Well, yeah, I don't know if you can bet on the weather. There are, I guess you call that a novelty prop bet. You know, some may have it, some may not. But I would say if you're, a bettor just in general, the weather is key. Like if you're going to bet an NFL game, you want a windy under. A lot of people think, hey, when it's cold out, bet the under, but that's actually wrong. If you look at totals, when it's 30 degrees or less, the over in NFL games is about 57%. So, yeah, you have to find a weird niche market to bet on the weather. But I think in general, if you're a sports bettor, you got to pay attention to weather. A lot of people don't.
No, I get that, but I specifically want to bet on the weather. I want to do like that live betting where it's like where we guess what the temperature is outside. Click, click, boom. Because I know that probably is not a thing, but I think I'd be good at it. I know that. How do you feel about this in-game sports betting? Is that something you do? Is that something you're good at?
Yeah, so I think in-game betting, my take on it is you got to be careful because when you're watching a game, you could feel like every 2 seconds there's a betting opportunity. Like your team gets scored on, your payout gets better now. The line is constantly changing throughout the game. But I know a lot of people who can get in trouble because you bet too much in game. I think you got to be really selective and pick your spots. Specifically when a favorite gets down early, that could be an in-game betting opportunity. Like if the Warriors, are a 10-point favorite, game starts off and it's a 10-0 run by the other team. Live line that favorite that's down. Those little spots can be worthwhile, but it can be a slippery slope too. I think you got to pick your spots. I'll give you an example. My Celtics completely blew it last night. They were a 2-point favorite. They lost to the Knicks, and that was huge because if you're looking at the live line opportunity, the Celtics dropped by like 25 points in the third quarter. If you had live line the Knicks when they were down, obviously you can't predict. No one has a crystal ball, but those little opportunities can present themselves, and live lining can be profitable.
Yeah, there's times where I've been like, oh, I think this guy's going to miss a field goal. I just have this weird instinct, and my wife can attest to this. There's a bunch of times where I've actually done that and been absolutely right. I mean, how are the odds on those sorts of things? What do they base those in-game betting odds on?
Yeah, so it's all based on these really complex models, algorithms, formulas. They're basically supercomputers that simulate every possible outcome, and every possible outcome would be weighted by a betting line based on how likely or unlikely. So, in-game betting, like you could have an odds of, will Steph Curry make his next three? Yes is, plus 120, no is minus 130, that kind of thing. So it's constantly evolving. But again, it's all based on these supercomputers. And really, Billy Walters was the first guy who had his own supercomputer. That's how he got really good. He was catching up to the books and almost ahead of the books sometimes. But yeah, it's man versus machine, and the computer always can spit out and simulate what the odds will be at any time.
Now, in your book, The Everything Guide to Sports Betting, and of course, here on this show, you have urged caution on only betting certain percents of your pile and being careful. What do you call those sorts of in-game betting? How do you refer to that? Is that like sort of like a junk food bet? You know what I mean? Is that just like something you do for fun, but don't, if you're seriously trying to grow your pile of money, maybe don't do that so much?
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Good call by you. I mean, you could always look at it as, I'm a big proponent of flat betting. That means you're risking one unit on every single bet that you make. And the unit is based on, your level of income. So one unit for one guy might be $10. One unit for another guy might be 100. Another might be, a dime, 1,000. But it's based upon whatever your starting bankroll is, multiply it by 0.03 and 3%. That's what you're risking every game. So if you only, think of people in New York, they're about to go live tomorrow. What you should do is, if you only have $100, take advantage, sign up. Then you're only going to bet $3 a game moving forward. But that might be one unit every play. Maybe if you're live in game, you do quarter units or half units. That would be like your fun money or your side money. So I think that's the way to approach it. Maybe
take it easy on those in-game bets, I think is what you're trying to tell us.
Exactly.
Hefty lefties. I don't understand this, but he says, Josh, how many years has your fantasy football team been called Applebaum Jeans?
Well, actually never, but very, very familiar. I'm 34. I was a camp counselor all throughout high school and college. And believe me, that song was played about 1 million times. So take the over on that between 2002 to 2008.
I don't even understand what you're saying. What is that about?
Apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur, that's like that
song.
I get that a lot. Yeah.
That was a pop song.
Oh, is it a country song?
Sketchy.
No, it's not a country song.
Good Lord. I don't get out much, I think that's a problem. 888-368-1580. So here we go. 1 week left, Josh. 1 week left, and then we are in the playoffs. Now, one of the things I had mentioned in our picks contest and stuff here is that I find it gets real easy when you're trying to pick a game in the playoffs. Every now and then there's a surprise, but in general, by now, it is pretty clear who's going to win what game, who the dominant team is going to be. There's not a whole lot of upsets in the playoffs. So do you find that to be a true statement, or do you the odds, do they balance out the odds where it's harder to make money when you're betting the playoffs? How does that work, betting in the playoffs?
Yeah, so the market is actually super efficient by the time you get to the playoffs. So basically, there's so much tape on all these teams and the betting markets and the computers. They've compiled so much data because you've gone through an 18-game regular season that they're going to really set a really, really sharp number. And oftentimes you're right if you're talking straight up. Favorites do win a majority of games in the playoffs, but actually dogs do very well, specifically road dogs. This is really a good time to bet against the public because with all these games, they're super heavily bet. Public will lean on favorites. They'll lean on these home teams. Road dogs covering numbers. Like, let's say, a road dog is +7 in a playoff game. They may lose by 6, lose by 3. That favorite would win technically, but actually these playoff dogs, they jump up, I believe, to around 56% against the spread in the playoffs. So actually grabbing points is good if you're just looking ATS.
Choro wants to know what a good resource is to see where the public money is versus the Sharks.
Ooh, that's great. So you got to have a live odds page, and that's really going to show you the data in terms of percentages, line moves. That's really your Bible. If you don't have a live odds page, you need that every day to look at the numbers. A good free one would be Wager Talk. I think they're pretty good at their free live odds page. There are other sites like Sports Insights and Don Best. They have live odds as well. Beeson, we have a live odds page. So whatever it may be, make sure it updates in real time. You don't want to have static lines and slow moves. But Wager Talk is a pretty good free one.
All right. So, okay, as we go into the weekend now, Vegas takes into account, I am sure, when players are sitting out because they're already going into, the playoffs. Now, do you find that the last week of the NFL season is a harder weekend to bet, or is that a place where you can sneakily find some good value?
I think it's a little bit of both. So number one, week 18, you got to be careful. Just like you said, like for example, the Green Bay Packers, it's unclear whether or not Aaron Rodgers will play or Devontae Adams or any of these other guys. The game means nothing. They've already wrapped up the 1 seed. They opened as actually an 11-point favorite on the road at Detroit. At one point, it got down to a pick 'em because there are rumors that LaFleur would sit everyone and not play any of the starters. Now it sounds like they may play. The line is back up to 3.5. You'll see a lot of that volatility when it comes to these teams resting guys or not playing guys. So one tip this weekend, if you're betting the NFL, get rid of the games where you have questions of people sitting out or not. Focus on games that actually mean something. So, for example, I like the 49ers this weekend. They're playing the Rams. It's a big game for both teams. They're trying to Rams could be the 2 seed, but they could fall as well. San Fran wants to clinch a playoff spot. That line actually opened Rams as a 6-point favorite at home. Now it's down to 4.5. So looking at divisional dogs, line moves, you have San Fran matching quite a few systems I like. I'd look at the +4.5 with San Fran. And another one that's important, Vegas Raiders. Vegas Raiders are in a really good spot Sunday night. Everybody's betting the Chargers, but yet the Raiders are sitting around a 3-point dog. The line will not go to 3.5. That tells me liability on the Raiders +3. And then also the Steelers, big game against Baltimore. Steelers fell from +7 down to +3.5. Those would be games that mean something. I'd look at the dogs in all those spots.
Any chance the Colts lose to the Jaguars?
There's always a chance. My Patriots lost to the Giants in 2007 on the David Tyree catch. So anything's possible, as Kevin Garnett would say, but very unlikely. They're a 15-point favorite. The money line on that game is around -1,000. That's how what a huge favorite they are. So unlikely, but who knows? I don't think they're going to lose that game.
Is that one of those things where we talk about units? Let's say based on the I've got $100 model, I take $3 and bet against the Colts just in case. I mean, maybe I don't win, but maybe I do, and then all of a sudden that's really great, right?
Yeah, you may hit those every now and again. I would just probably lay off entirely because you're going to have probably so many losses until you hit one of those big dogs like winning outright. And it does happen from time to time. But instead, I would maybe also this weekend look at some teasers. That would be going through multiple key numbers. Like, for example, Washington playing the Giants. The Giants are a dumpster fire. They're a clown show, as their head coach said they weren't a clown show. But I would bet against them this weekend. Washington football team open at -3.5. they're up to -7. But you could do a teaser, Washington football team -7 down to -1. You could pair that with Arizona playing Seattle. Seattle's got nothing to play for. Arizona a pick after -6 down to a pick.
So I'm a Colts fan, so maybe I'll make a bet like that just to jinx them into winning. You see what I'm saying? I'll bet against them. It's a double reverse jinx, Josh. Do you ever do that? Do you ever do that for your Patriots?
Oh yeah, I'm superstitious. I'm crazy superstitious. If I'm sweating a game, I need like the remote lined up in a certain way, like my drink of water in this position. Like I got all the superstition.
It's Josh Applebaum, host of Betting Across America, Saturdays 11 a.m. here on 1580 The Fanatic. Also author of the Everything Guide to Sports Betting on the Amazon. Keon, you had a question for Josh?
I do, because I remember not too long ago, Josh, when you were here, we were asking you about Alabama and Georgia going into the SEC title game. We're going to have to ask you about Alabama and Georgia again. How would you approach this game, knowing that rematches like this don't happen that often in college football, and we have a little bit better of an idea of how these two teams match up? What stance do you take when you see something like this?
Yeah, so this is really interesting because when this line opened, it actually opened with Georgia favored by 2.5 points. And kind of what's happened is you're seeing this really crazy, what they call in the industry, like pro versus Joe game, where the public is all over Alabama. They can't believe that Alabama is getting 2.5 points. Alabama should be favored. The wrong team is favored. You often hear that. The public loves getting the points. They just saw Alabama beat Georgia in the SEC championship as a 6-point dog. So, of course, they'll take the 2.5. But believe it or not, some sharp bettors laid the points with Georgia. Georgia opened -2.5. At one point, they got to -3. And that was important because you had almost like 70% of bets on Alabama. But today, guys, you had a lot of buyback on Alabama +3. The line is now back down to 2.5. So I think you're going to have a battle between, looks like some wise guys who want to go Georgia -2.5, and then a ton of public money on Alabama +3. I think the books go back and forth. I almost lean public here. I'll be honest. I'm worried about the sharp move to Georgia. But you have a lot of great trends here with Nick Saban as a dog, getting points, playing that nobody believes in us card. I would wait it out and see if you can get Alabama +3.
Well, Charo liked your answer because, since yesterday, all I've been getting from him is little brown middle fingers on the text line, but this one was a thumbs up. So there you go. Josh Applebaum, thank you so much for being with us this week. Sports Betting 101. And don't forget, you guys, get yourselves the textbook, Everything Guide to Sports Betting. Get that thing on Amazon. Last thoughts before we head on into break there, Josh?
Yeah, last thoughts. I would just say there's a great prop bet out there. TJ Watt to break the sack record.
Oh, right.
He's got 21.5. Yeah, he just needs 1.5 to break Strahan. There's a prop bet out there. Will he break the record? I think he does. It's +180. That means you risk 100. You could win 180 and get your 100 back. I think if you want to throw $5 down on a prop bet this weekend, I would bet on him to break that record.
There you go. All right, Josh, have a great weekend. We'll see you next time here on the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. We'll see you later. Guys, we must take break. When we come back, we're talking nothing but NFL. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, up to 25 cents a gallon. Cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Some months I make $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code PATH for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your next fill-up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code PATH for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PATH.
Only Wendy's serves a better breakfast with a better biscuit. Our hot buttery breakfast biscuits are loaded with a fresh cracked egg, cheese, and your choice of bacon or sausage. Did we mention the part where Wendy's biscuits are hot and buttery? Wendy's breakfast biscuits, hot and buttery. So don't take a chance with those other guys. Bet on a better breakfast with Wendy's bacon or sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Did you know that Constructors Bonding has been Arizona's leader in surety management for over 40 years? Hi, this is Dave McKee, president of Constructors Bonding, inviting you to learn how our team can deliver better bonding than anyone, anywhere. Contractors, developers, attorneys, car dealers, and hundreds of other industries turn to Constructors Bonding for their bond solutions. Call me personally at 602-432-5929 to learn how Constructors Bonding is your solution for better bonding.
Hi, this is Bruce Jacobs from my friends and former employers at ProCopy. For over 20 years, ProCopy has provided Arizona companies with the best office equipment available from companies like Ricoh. More importantly, they provide outstanding service after the sale with a 96% retention ratio and award-winning technicians. 3 years ago, they joined the Flex Technologies Group, an Arizona-based nationwide group of companies that share ProCopy's commitment to excellence. So if you have branches anywhere in the United States or just here in Arizona, you can get great personalized service even during the current climate. We use them here at the Fanatic and Money Radio KFNN, and they never disappoint because they remain a local company. They give back to our community by supporting ASU and the Thunderbirds through the Phoenix Open. The ProCopy Foundations has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars. That makes doing business with ProCopy good for your business. Just give them a call at 602-PROCOPY. That's 602-776-2679.
This is Brian Musburger. Don't miss Betting Across America, Saturdays at 11 a.m. right here on Arizona Sports Betting Station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
And welcome back to the Daily Blender on a Friday. Back to NFL talk in a minute, but I want to remind you, we were just talking to Josh Applebaum, where you talked a little about the college football championship, and to celebrate that, FanDuel Sportsbook is hooking up new customers with 30-1 enhanced odds on either team to win, which means if you bet $5, you win $150 on either team to win it all. So here's what you got to do. I'm going with Alabama. That's my pick. You go to FanDuel Sportsbook, sign up, using promo code Randy1580, make a deposit to claim your 30-1 enhanced odds. It's simple, it's easy to use, and they've got great offers every day, and it's safe and secure. So if you got an opportunity and you want to try this out and you want to win $150 for a $5 bet, you just go to download the FanDuel Sportsbook app, or you head to sportsbook.fanduel.com, sign up using promo code Randy1580 to get your 30-1 odds on either team to win. If you already have FanDuel Sportsbook, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with $50 when you refer a friend, plus your friend will get $50 too. So everybody wins here. You got to be 21 or older and present in Arizona. New users only. $10. The first deposit required. Must wager in designated offer market. Max bonus $150. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. Again, that's NEXT STEP to 53342.
Do you have to be a past president, or can you be a sitting president, or do you is it like a university, or is it the United States? 21 and older and
present in Arizona.
You got to be here, is what you're saying.
Yeah, you got to be present in Arizona, not president of Arizona.
All right, just making sure. Just making sure.
Well, that's very good. That's very good.
Fighting Wampa says, I wonder if Boomer Esiason's reliable source that says Aaron Rodgers might threaten to boycott the Super Bowl, it might be Bartles and James. Yeah, Boomer does like a drink, doesn't he? I think he does like a drink. Right. Let's see here. Swazman says, Keon, you're exactly right. Antonio Brown is impulsive like Swaz, me, and the former president, too. We all say and do a lot without thinking first. All right, don't bring politics into the show. Got to stop that. Thundar says, Jeffrey, shouldn't you have asked Keon about his broadcast journalism background when you hired him as a co-host for your radio show, which is broadcast? Maybe. You know, I'll be honest with you. I'm sure we asked Keon. I'm sure he said a lot of things, but we don't listen much. And We just waited to see if he would have the ability to put up with us. That was really the first thing we were worried about. How much can you take was more important than. Did you get a degree in journalism?
In communication and then accent broadcast journalism.
What's accent?
Ooh, accent.
That's the way that we ended up having to write it up because I took journalism at one school, but I finished at another school that didn't have journalism. It just had communication. So
Thundar, now you know why I don't remember.
So did you get
not that interesting?
Did you get your baccalaureate of communications? That's what you got?
Yeah.
See that? Everybody else calls it bachelor's. It's baccalaureate.
It's not pronounced bachelor's?
No.
Seriously?
Baccalaureate. Yeah.
Well, why is it spelled bachelor's then?
It's baccalaureate.
School is stupid. 888-368.
I thought so the entire time I was there.
Senior Wake and Bake says Aaron Rodgers picketing the Super Bowl is crazier than a one-legged cat trying to bury a turd on a frozen pond.
Yeah.
That is pretty crazy as a scenario.
Also
very random.
I almost feel like a bot is writing Senior Wake and Bakes sometimes. Boomer Sooner says, hey, Jeffrey, I'm not busy this weekend. Give me your address. I'll bring over the beer and brats, and hell, we'll barbecue if you need to. I don't know. I'm going to be pretty busy screaming at birds, but I appreciate that. Let's see. Pink Eye says, is it a man card violation to have Froot Loop pancakes with Froot Loop flavored whiskey? Yeah, it is. The whiskey one for sure. Froot Loop pancakes, I don't know.
You're just combining two breakfast foods. I don't see what the problem is there.
Yeah, you make it for the kids, or if you got a sweet tooth. I don't think the pancakes are the problem. That the whiskey, I'm gonna have to put my foot down on that one. Ookla says, did you listen to Jim Rome today and his rant about Antonio Brown's toilet seat licking girlfriend? I know I missed that because I was fighting with a printer for an hour and a half.
What?
So
toilet seat licking girlfriend.
What's he talking about, Keon?
The hell is that all about?
I don't know. I missed Jim Rome today.
Well, there are podcasts of Jim Rome's show too, so we may have to go back and listen to that. Big George says, I've had lunch with both Jeffrey and Randy, and both of you guys are great, down to earth, real guys, kind of guys you'd want to grab a beer with.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah. I can't disagree with that.
I mean, I like us.
And he says, Randy, my friend.
Yes.
Can we get a weather update? It's going to be paradise this weekend in the Valley of the Sun, right?
It is going to be paradise. I was just looking through the famous 1580 The Fanatic Weather Center. And right now in downtown Phoenix, believe this or not, okay, I'll leave it up to you. You don't have to believe me, the weather meteorologist for 1580 The Fanatic.
I believe you.
Currently 70 degrees in downtown Phoenix. 70 degrees.
I know, because my air conditioning kicked on.
Looking for an overnight low in the mid 40s tonight. Hell, it was just freezing a couple of days ago, and now we're looking at mid 40s overnight, and it's going to continue this way through part of this weekend, and then as we start the next week, it's going to start to cool off again. 74 on Monday, but by Thursday it'll get back down to 68. And then next weekend, 69, mid 40s, mid 50s overnight. We had our 1 week of wintertime here in the Valley, and it's time now to move on to spring. Again, 71 degrees downtown Phoenix right now.
All right, so let me help Keon out, because Keon is new in town. He hasn't even been here like 6 months, I think. Keon, did you bring jackets with you? Do you have jackets?
I do have a couple of jackets.
Do you like those jackets?
I do.
The nice thing about being in Arizona, you will never wear them out here. You're going to wear them maybe once a year, and then they go back in the closet, and then that's it. And so if you're here, if you decide, I want to buy myself a new jacket, choose wisely. Don't choose something that could be easily out of style soon, because you'll get to wear it once or twice a year. I had a jacket that I bought in like 91 that lasted me until somebody said, wow, that thing's out of style. I thought, well, it just looks like a bomber jacket. I don't know what your problem is, but it did me well. So make sure whatever you get, basic. Don't get anything fancy or weird. Get something that can stand the test of time, for you shall only wear it once, maybe twice per year.
Good to know.
Yeah, it's like tires in a car you never drive.
Yep.
I appreciate the insight on that.
Well, now if you go, but if you go in the winter, quote unquote, winter time to Flagstaff, you would wear that jacket up there.
Not many. You probably won't do that much. You kid yourself, you will. My wife is like, "Oh, we should get some snow stuff in it." I mean, we're probably going to be up here for another 5 years. Who are you kidding? Who are you kidding? I'm not going to be one of those people. We were driving back from Pine Top Lakeside, and there was all kinds of people pulled over on the sides of the road, running like, taking pictures. Look, I got snow, and then they just jump back in the car and they drive home.
Mm-hmm.
That's not us. I'm not going to do that. I'm not interested in that. I mean, if I go up, I want to hang out. I want to chill. It was nice being in the snow. I did have a good time. Royale Cheese says, you don't need a pimp coat in Arizona. Oh, everybody should have at least one good pimp coat. I don't know what you're talking about.
I agree.
He says, happy Friday, gentlemen. And he says, go Cowboys.
Why?
Ew.
Yeah, I can't second that.
Ew. Kane Kenton says Oregon State imploded the west side of Research Stadium for stadium renovation and bathroom remodeling. Oh, wow. If you find this on the Twitter, you can find it at USU football. And the quote on it is, geez, guys, it was only a bowl game. That's a good text. Mr. Wilbur says, Jeffrey, Father Time just called. He wants his members only jacket, please. I remember my mom giving me a members only jacket in 1984. And I'm like standing there. I'm like, okay, this is, I guess, fine. And I go to school and I see a lot of other people wearing that. I'm like, I don't want to be a member of this club. Most of the people are wearing this jacket. And I never wore it again. Donnie says, last weekend with Mike Zimmer as coach. Happy Friday, boys. Hey, Donnie. Donnie is a Vikings fan and a Twitter curmudgeon. And is it the last weekend with Mike Zimmer as coach, guys?
I would be stunned if it wasn't.
Yeah, I've got to believe he's out of here. He probably already has his office packed up.
Yeah, he'll pull a Larry Fitzgerald where it's just like he just drives off, doesn't answer phones, just is like, I'm out of here, just whatever.
Yeah, but Mike, we do an exit interview, right? No.
Mail me my check, bastards, as he drives out of the parking lot. Kiss the Cook says, does Blender radio broadcast reach Hawaii? Future reference for a friend. Yeah.
It's
on the app, man.
Yeah. On the worldwide internet. Yeah.
That easy. But if you go to Hawaii and you're like, I need my blender on the damn radio, we'll just talk to somebody at the radio station there. If they want to carry this show on their radio station, we don't care. I mean, Radio Ron probably try to make some money out of it, and as he should, but we personally don't care. But it's probably easier just to listen to the app. Happy Lefty says, here's that new hot dog monstrosity Keon was talking about. Coincidentally, it looks the same after it comes out, too. Yeah, I think you might be right about that. Yeah, Keon sent me the same picture. Froot Loops just chucked on a hot dog with macaroni and cheese and bacon.
It's just an example of going one step too far, because if you stopped before you added the Froot Loops, you might have something.
I am intrigued on macaroni and cheese on a hot dog. I've never had that, so I'm actually intrigued by that.
It's mac and cheese and bacon,
but stop with the rest of it.
But the Froot Loops are not necessary.
Boogie, that's not true, and you know it. Boogie is breaking fake news. We need a breaking fake news sounder, because I don't believe you, Boogie, when he says Minnesota Vikings in negotiation talks with Coach Nagy to replace Zimmerman. No, they're not. You just want that to be true. It's not true. Mm-hmm. You just want it to be. The process says Antonio Brown goes on a YouTuber's podcast that the hosts are Canadian there. They don't watch football, and just one of them know who he is. Sports media saying they're yes men and didn't ask him good questions about the situation. Well, yeah, what do you expect, right? I mean, what would you expect from Canadians? By the way, I don't trust them. Are there any Canadians listening? I don't trust you.
Why don't we trust Canadians?
Too nice.
They are up to something up there, Keon.
Yeah. Okay. Too nice.
They are up to something, and it ain't good. You know what I'm saying? No, they're very, very polite. And oh no. There's something going on up there.
Sorry. Isn't Letterkenny Canadian?
Sorry.
Yeah, but they're off in the countryside. So those aren't the Canadians I'm worried about.
No.
Sorry, so
those ones in Toronto.
Buying up all sorts of houses and land here in the United States, then running across the border to get their free health care. I don't know. Something's going on. I don't trust him.
You're up to something.
Yep. As soon as I figure out what the hell it is, I'll let you know, though.
Okay.
Good Cat says, I'd like to nominate Randy for president of Arizona.
Hey, thank you. I accept that nomination on behalf of my family and my friends. It's been an arduous road for me to achieve this accomplishment. Thank you very much. I will be a good and honorable president of Arizona.
I'm going to run against you.
The first thing I'm going to do is eliminate taxes.
Oh, no. Go ahead. I'm not going to run against you now. Go
Okay.
ahead.
All right. Because I just won the damn race, didn't I?
Yeah, sure did.
Yeah.
And Jeffrey only has one issue anyway, and it's the daylight savings.
Right. If you fix daylight savings, we're good.
Second issue, fixing the daylight savings scam.
Randy White for president, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Pringle says, hey, what's that gambling problem hotline number again?
1-800-NEXT-STEP.
1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Next step, Mr. Pringle. Good luck to you. All right, taking a break. One more hour of the Daily Blender coming up next here on 1580 The Fanatic.
I'm Serena Williams. You watch me live on TV.
And I'm the girl from that alien movie you watch on demand. Our worlds have been brought together thanks to DirecTV Stream.
Why are you whispering?
Because the alien will hear us.
Maybe let the alien know you can get DirecTV Stream with no annual contract.
He seems pretty excited by that, actually.
Introducing DirecTV Stream, the best of live TV and on demand with no annual contract. Get your TV together at DirecTV.com.
Requires high-speed internet and compatible device. Content varies by package and location. Restrictions apply.
You ever hear something on the radio and figure I got to give it a shot? Well, I did. This is Stephen McCollum, host of The Main Event here on The Fanatic. I heard all the ads for Valley Medical Weight Loss and thought, what have I got to lose? I'm a client with Valley Medical Weight Loss, so I know firsthand that it really works. Valley Medical is a true pioneer in the weight loss industry, supervised by board-certified physicians, helping you gain the edge in your weight loss battle, boosting your energy, and getting you real results. 3 Valley locations, so there's one near you. Visit valleymedicalweightloss.com for info, and when you go, mention The Fanatic or Money Radio and get your first week free.
You feel that? It's finally happening. It's starting to get cooler. Is it time to start wearing sweaters? No. It's time to call Harman Solar. See, if you install solar now, you get to enjoy huge savings next summer, up to 85% off your monthly bill. That means with 0 down and no payments for 12 months, you can put that AC at whatever temperature you like year-round. Call Harman Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmansolar.com.
Rosalie the Fantasy Girl here. Obviously, I love sports betting, but what I don't love is giving up part of my winnings to casinos and bookies. But the other day, I heard about this free site called Big Zero, and it's a total game changer. Big Zero lets me bet with my actual friends and keep all my winnings, not to mention bragging rights. If you love sports betting, you'll love Big Zero. Go to bigzero.com to sign up, and if you want, join my group with the code Fantasy Girl. I'm placing bets on Big Zero all the time, so go accept a few. Just don't be mad when I take your money.
Public service announcement from Summit Male Medical. Guys often confuse erectile dysfunction with low testosterone. They are 2 different issues with 2 separate treatments. ED is simply a blood flow issue. Low T is a health issue. Symptoms include lack of muscle mass, gaining a few pounds, low energy, irritability, low libido. At Summit Medical, we treat both because we're experts at both. We've been here in the Valley since 2008. We've treated tens of thousands of patients, not only from here, but all over the country, coming to us specifically. And compare our pricing with others. We are the low price leaders. And combine that with the most experienced staff in the business for ED and PE treatments, and that is an unbeatable combination. We dare you to compare. Please do. So if you're having intimacy issues, please let us show you how we can help you tomorrow if you call today. 480-398-1000 or go to summitmalemedical.com. It will be the best call you ever make.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM. And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside my heterosexual life partner, Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room. You guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. We are broadcasting live in the Harmon Solar Studio in Scottsdale. And this is it. Last hour that we are going to do before we come back Monday with the knowledge of exactly who's going to be in the playoffs. Everything will have been sorted out by 11 p.m. on Sunday night. Absolutely. Yep. There'll be no more questions. Who's in the wild card? Who's won the division? Who's won the conference? Who's done this? Who gets a bye week? All of those answers will be right there in front of you. And so it is very exciting. This is going to be a lot of fun this week because you got football on the Saturday, you got football on the Sunday, and then Monday we get to come back and sort through the ashes. It's very, very, I love this time. I hate this time of year because that means we're just a little bit closer to not having any more football, but we still have a good month and a half of it. So, pros, cons, I guess, a little bittersweet, but this is going to be a big weekend. There is at least enough games that matter this weekend, if not to who's absolutely going to be in the playoffs, but at least to where the standings are and who's going to have home field advantage and that sort of thing. So there is not a whole lot of games, at least for the guys who are in the contention. A lot of these games matter, right?
Yes, especially the San Diego, Las Vegas game. And what's the other thing I'm thinking of? The Colts,
the Jaguars, even the Cardinals and Seahawks and the 49ers and Rams games that could have ramifications.
Yeah.
Ramifications. I didn't mean to do that.
So, it's going to be a fun weekend of football, but you're right. It is kind of bittersweet. But playoff football begins right away next week. So you got the wild card weekend, you got the first round divisionals, you got the championship games, and then it's a Super Bowl. And then you know what? Well, right after the Super Bowl, it's NASCAR season.
Right. But back to the football. 888-368-1580. Boogie is still trying to break news. Now he says, Chicago Bears are offering 2 first-rounders to trade for Coach Zimmerman as their next head coach. That sounds like a true thing the Bears would do, but everything Boogie is saying right now is an absolute lie. And I don't have to read his horrible texts on the air, but if you are following Boogie on Twitter, don't believe a thing he tweets right now. He's doing what we call trying to speak it into being. He wants so badly for the Vikings and the Bears to continue to be horrible to help give his Lions a chance at some sort of relevance.
You keep doing you, Boogie. Keep doing you, Boogie.
Well, it ain't going to help. Your Lions are always going to be the Lions.
Keep doing you, Boogie. Maybe this weekend I'll go get me a new Lions hat.
You kind of have to.
I know. Maybe this is the weekend I go get them.
What was the parameters? You had to wear it from win to win?
Oh, I don't remember. I don't care. I'll wear one proudly.
Well, don't we?
I'll wear it proudly. I'll wear it proudly. I think it's the whole damn season.
So for the entire next season?
I think so.
That's a lot.
All I have to do to technically wear it is put it on my head once, take it right off, put my Cardinals hat on. I that's all I have to do.
Oh, Randy found his loophole. No wonder he's not mad.
Yeah.
I like I just wear it all the time though on a camera.
No. Oh, on camera, I will wear it at least a couple of times on camera. Not only because I'm proud to do so, because I believe in Dan Campbell and I believe that the Lions will get better. I believe they will.
As they say in the South, bless your heart.
Speaking of trying to speak things into existence.
You guys make fun of me. That's okay. You guys make fun of me. That's all right. But remember, I did call some games this year. You guys made fun of me, and I have the last laugh.
Oh, yeah, sure did. Because 16 other times. No, come on, man.
I was right more than I was wrong, my friend.
About the Lions?
About the Cardinals. I was right.
Oh, no, we're talking about the Lions.
More than I was wrong.
You were absolutely right more than you're wrong about the Arizona Cardinals. And, of course, I think Kyler Murray's lying, saying he's not going to be watching the scoreboard. Of course he's going to be watching the scoreboard. Or he's telling the truth and just counting on somebody to come in and whisper in his ear.
I don't know.
So he knows. Everybody, of course they care.
I don't think he cares, but I don't think he's going to be watching the scoreboard. I honestly believe this is the kind of guy he is. He's going to go out and take care of business right in front of him. Now, after the game, he'll probably find out what the score is.
So hear me out, Randy. J.J. Watt coming off the injured reserve, not likely to play this weekend unless somebody knows something we don't, which is very possible. But if you guys, stay where you're at with what's going on, your first game is going to be the Cowboys. Do you see J.J. Watt coming back for that game being a big impact on that game? Or do you think we got this without him?
No, I wouldn't listen. The addition of J.J. Watt to that defensive line is going to be a welcome addition, and it will ease up some of the pressure that they've been putting on Chandler Jones, which we already know Chandler Jones has been a beast in the last few games here, just getting after the quarterback, disrupting their offense. So you get J.J. Watt out there and they start blocking him, and they have to pay attention to him. Now you got these guys coming from both sides here. I would say if he's ready to play, I would say they'll definitely put him in for his playoff game.
All right. So now the Arizona Cardinals are playing against the Seahawks, and people have been like, don't sleep on them. And I wish Ralph was here today so we could talk about the fact that they lost Bobby Wagner. He ain't going to be out there. That defense is getting worse for the Seahawks every day that goes by leading up to this game on Sunday. This is just not even going to be close, guys. This is not even going to be close.
Well, I'm not going to say that because the Seahawks are a formidable team and they are professionals. And, the bottom line is I've been in the position that the Seahawks are in right now when I was playing baseball. And you love to go out and ruin things for somebody that's got better opportunities than you. You love to be that wrecking machine to go out and just ruin dreams. So if they can beat the Cardinals and put them completely out of contention of getting that first overall spot in the NFC West, damn good and well they're going to go and do that if they can.
Booger Wolf texts in and says, hey, how many of you out there love them some Booger Wolf, huh? Spoke my Niners into this situation. So there you go. Speak in the being. Go playoffs, go Niners, and give me a Ric Flair woo, please. No, not for the Niners. Not for the Niners, Randy.
Woo!
You're going to do that for the Niners?
Yeah, because the Rams you
that's right. I guess
the
this
Niners
one
to beat the Rams. So for 1 week,
woo. Woo. Okay, Booger Wolf. Let's see. Ukla Mock says, is that like speaking Carson Wentz into a real quarterback for the Colts? I will never try. I will never not. But listen, Carson Wentz is just bad enough to lose this game for my Colts against the Jaguars. But Jonathan Taylor is just good enough to run his wheels off and make sure we get that win. And the Jaguars are just bad enough. So, no, I'm not too worried about that game. Anything can happen. I get it. But I've never felt more confident about a game than I do right now, which now just automatically means we'll lose. But okay, whatever. Good Cat says, is Boogie sitting with Senior Wake and Bake? Man, his breaking news sounds like some sort of stoner talking out there. No, he's just hopeful. That's it. He's just hopeful. Let's see. Big Jordan says, cheer up, Jeffrey. When the NFL is over, we'll still have the USFL starting in the spring. Okay, good. Oh, God. It's going to be bad, guys. Did you see? We talked about this a little bit yesterday, who some of the coaches are going to be.
Yeah, it was a Kevin Sumlin sighting. That was one of them.
So who are we supposed to pick? Who are we supposed to cheer for? Because here's what happened. Yes, and the league is going to have 8 teams. This is going to start April 16th, as if tax day is not hard enough to put up with on the 15th. Now we got this garbage. We got Sumlin is going to host the Houston Gamblers. And let's see, Riley is going to coach the New Jersey Generals. Andrus is going to coach the Philadelphia Stars. And, I guess then that leaves the Michigan Panthers, the Pittsburgh Maulers, Birmingham Stallions, and the New Orleans Breakers. Oh, dear God, these are horrible names for teams. And were these team names back in the old days for the USFL?
It sounds to me like they are the original names. The Gamblers, the Breakers. I remember that. Yeah.
Where's Arizona's team?
You don't have one. The Arizona Wranglers do not exist at this point in the USFL.
So who are we supposed to care about?
Nobody.
There's no Los Angeles team.
Yeah.
There's no New York team. There's just a New Jersey team.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do with that?
They're trying to find, I think, a lot of the markets where there isn't football, where those fans are maybe a little bit more starved, don't get the opportunity to go.
No, you're right. There's no football in Pittsburgh or in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I mean,
or in Houston.
I said trying to. I mean,
Or in
obviously,
Philadelphia.
you go to places where the infrastructure already is, but you've got a couple of these teams where, they did the same thing in the Alliance of American Football. There was a blend of places that did and did not have football. But you're trying to pick your spots where the city is big enough where you've got a lot of people, but there's no team there.
By the way, if you have no idea who Bart Andrus is, it's okay because he was a Canadian Football League coach. He also coached for the UFL in Omaha, and he was also in NFL Europe for Amsterdam. How he got those jobs, where he came from, nobody knows. But Bart Andrus sounds like a cool name. That's all.
And when the USFL inevitably folds, we won't know where he went again. That's fitting.
Yeah, and you want me to get into this, guy? Seriously? This is not going to be good.
I didn't get into the last two, and I did not waste my time, and I feel pretty good about the fact that I didn't waste my time watching football that was not good.
Mike Riley just waits around for these leagues to pop up. He had worked for the AAF. He worked for the XFL. And I don't know, man. I don't know. What's this, Boogie? Fake news? He says, fake news. J.J. Watt was exposed to incredibly high concentration of gamma radiation from the Palo Verde nuclear plant. He's being detained while he hulks out on the Cowboys in 8 days. That sounds like real news to me.
Yeah, it sounds real life right there.
That could actually happen. Number one Rattlers fan says 71 days till the Arizona Rattlers opener. Yeah, and I believe your Arizona Rattlers will be heard here on 1580 The Fanatic again. Big Kev says, is it too early to say that the USFL makes it an entire season without folding? All right, let's who's running this thing? Do we know who's behind the USFL? I know The Rock is behind the XFL now. That's all
I don't know who's in charge of the USFL. What the hell's going on here?
Yeah, all of a sudden we just start seeing commercials on during real football, and I was like, "Is that a joke? Are we watching Saturday Night Live? What is going on?" And I still don't know. Still don't know who's doing this. Why? I know they got Fox support. The Fox network. Although Fox generally jumps up for anything that might give them a couple of ratings points. Good Cat says, Jeffrey, if you could only watch fake wrestling or the USFL. What would you choose? If I could only watch fake wrestling or USFL football, it'd be USFL football. I'll never watch fake wrestling. Fake wrestling, no. I mean, USFL, it won't be good, but at least it'll be real. That's the thing. That's the big difference for me. Bruno Baller says, then after all that NFL stuff over the weekend, you got a great rematch between Georgia and Alabama on Monday night. We will have Keon Rose's college football dance party on Monday and let Keon just go nuts breaking that thing down and telling you what to expect and telling you what he thinks about that. But am I right, Keon? We should wait till the weekend with all the COVID weirdness and God knows what might happen.
Look, if we find out going into Monday that for some reason Bryce Young has COVID, that's going to change everything for this game. We don't need to lose a lot of people. We just need to lose key people. So yeah, we're gonna hold on to that information, and then we'll get the dance party started on Monday.
Mr. Wilbur says, speaking of April 15th and taxes, on behalf of the Fourth Dimension, I'd like to know when our W-2s will be sent out to us, since after all, we did carry 25% of this station in 2021.
Yeah. Well, Janice in accounting will be sending those out very soon.
Yeah, you be watching for the mail. Be feeling for the mail with Mr. Wilbur.
Wow.
Here's your leadership team of the USFL.
Okay, here it is. Got to be somebody important. Let's hear it.
Brian Woods is the CEO.
Is that the guy from the Rolling Stones?
Oh, I'm sorry. He's going to be the USFL's president of football operations. Daryl Johnson, remember Moose Johnson from the Dallas Cowboys?
Right.
He's going to be the executive vice president of football operations. Mike Pereira. Remember him? Used to be a referee and official.
Yeah, he's on TV.
He's going to leave that job for Fox Sports, and he's going to be the league's new head of officiating. Ed Hartman will be the executive vice president of business operations, while retaining his current position as senior vice president of digital partnership and wagering at Fox Sports. This is a Fox Sports entity. Because the title of this thing says the Fox Sports USFL. So
and it makes sense that all of the executives are guys that worked at Fox.
Yeah,
they own it. All right. And so if it goes bad, those guys can all get their old jobs back. Yeah. Okay. Now it makes a lot more sense. Well, let me just say it'll still suck.
I mean, yeah, look, you don't have the same quality of football.
Nope.
It's just plain and simple.
Should we just for fun, just to be wise asses, play fantasy football on this one?
On USFL?
Yeah.
Is there even enough?
I work too hard for my money.
That there are 8 teams. How do you
on the USFL?
Good. Well, we could probably get that other fantasy football guy back for that. Just get CJ back for that nonsense. King Kenton says, when I was a little kid, my mom found a nice Detroit Lions jacket in my size. I didn't know any Lions fans in Arizona at the time. I grew up a LA Rams fan. So my mom unstitched the Lions patch, and I had a light blue jacket with a couple of small NFL Shield logos on it. Pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And good for her for taking that horrible Lions patch off of it.
Customizing it for you.
Yeah. Hefty Lefty says they should have made a bun out of macaroni and cheese, like casserole, and like let it cool and harden it and make chunks of it, crisp it, put the hot dog in there. How about that?
Wow.
What's wrong with bread? Can't we just put it in the bread?
Bread is fine, but also you're going to have the poor stadium workers do that. There's going to be a line going out the stadium while people try and eat this awful hot dog, and you're going to have them serve it in something other than bread, which of course is going to be harder for them to make. And if they run out, I mean, good Lord, but bread is fine.
Thunder the Santa Barbarian wants you to know that my assessment of Canadians is correct. He says, if you meet Canadian expats overseas, you will be very quickly disabused of the idea that Canadians are nice. So there you go. That's Thundar the Santa Barbarian with first-hand account of how Canadians are bastards. Ukalamak says, I want to see Mr. Wilbur in the dance party. Yeah, he can dance like nobody's looking because he wouldn't know anyway. Killer Rabbit says, do you think Cockburn from the Illini would be a good tight end in the USFL?
I mean, the guy is 7 feet tall, 250 pounds. He'd probably be a better left tackle.
Well, that dude's going to the NFL. Let's be serious. Booger Wolf says, I got inside info on the Washington name change. They're going with the Anglers. There's a large bass fishing society out there, and the fans are a bunch of trout mouth bastards anyway, so it fits.
Now, the Washington football team is a team that represents the DC, Maryland, and Virginia area. There aren't enough people who fish for bass in that area to warrant changing the name of the team to it. I'm sorry.
I have a question. This must be a regional thing. What's a trout mouth bastard? What does that even mean? I don't even know what that means.
I don't know what that means either.
I hope it's not something horrible because I just read it.
Trout never actually closed their mouth, so it's just
they're like mouth.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, okay.
That's my guess.
Okay, I'm hoping that's all it is. Yeah. Big Kev says the XFL would be better off as a 2-hour weekly show on a network that already carries the WWE. Have the first hour recapping highlights of the previous week's slate of games, and the second hour can feature pregame and postgame brawls between the opposing teams, as well as on-air feuds between opposing teams leading up to the next week's slate of games. How about we just don't? That's what I keep saying.
I vote for that. Let's not.
Boogie, of course, who is a degenerate, says, I'll play fantasy football in the USFL.
I'm sure you will.
All right, everybody. Boogie is going to run and open the league for your fantasy football fun for the USFL. The Daily Blender probably will have nothing to do with it. Randy, you're out, right?
I'm out. Yeah.
I'm out. Yeah, Keon, are you out?
I'm out.
How long have you been out?
Of USFL fantasy football? From the beginning.
You like that shock journalism I just tried? It never works. That's a good idea. Good Cat says the losers of the Blender League should have to play fantasy in the USFL. That's good. I like that. Hefty Lefty says, hey, guys, forget that. Fantasy golf starts next week. Yeah, I got to draw the line somewhere. I'm just going to stick with football. All right, we got to take a break. Let's come back and talk more NFL. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brett Musburger's Action Update. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now, you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now. Here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The College Football Playoff National Championship Monday night in Indianapolis, Georgia and Alabama, a rematch of the SEC Championship won by Bama as the underdog. They're underdogs again by 2.5 points. The Bulldogs and Crimson Tide played in this game 4 years ago, won memorably by Alabama in overtime. The Cardinals still with a shot at an NFC West title and a number 2 seed with home field advantage in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. They're still dealing with several persistent injuries, including James Conner and Chase Evans in the backfield. Cardinals a 6.5 point favorite in the regular season finale at home Sunday against the Seahawks. Pac-12 basketball, 8th-ranked Arizona and Arizona State that was scheduled for Saturday has been postponed. For vsin.com, I'm Trey Westerberg on Arizona's sports betting station.
Welcome back to the quickest podcast ever, brought to you by Kohl's.
Today's topic, exercise.
You know, the right gear makes all the difference.
Sure does, which is why I went to Kohl's and got an Adidas hoodie for my husband, Nike sneakers for my son, and some tech gear leggings for myself.
Is shopping your cardio?
More like my motivation. Did I mention I got an extra 20% off and earned Kohl's cash?
Ooh, TRB, running to Kohl's.
Select styles, Adidas and Nike coupons do not apply. 20% off ends January 9th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Airlines have just reduced their prices even more. Book 30 days in advance and save big.
Want the absolute lowest prices on your airline tickets? Then call the Low Cost Airlines Travel Hotline right now. For prices so low, we can't publish them anywhere. The only way to access our low rates and save up to 70% is to call. Save hundreds on your vacation tickets by calling right now. You can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
802-341-4535. 802-341-4535. 802-341-4535. That's 802-341-4535.
Time for some smart saving. Put money aside, not your child's future education.
I'm Arizona State Treasurer Kimberly Yee. The sooner you start an AZ 529 education savings plan, the more money you'll have when your little one graduates high school. Invest just $15 a month and you could have thousands of dollars saved for their education needs. Go to az529.gov so when it's time to achieve their dreams, they can.
Now that's smart saving. Sponsored by the Office of the Arizona State Treasurer.
Seems like everything is going electric these days. Electric cars, electric trucks. But what you save on gas, you pay for with that electric bill. With all these things being plugged into your house, wouldn't it be nice to save up to 85% on your monthly electric bill? Well, you can do that with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Call Harmon Solar. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
The field is called a gridiron. The ball is called a pigskin. The quarterback is called a field general.
Y'all know what time it is?
The kicker? Well, they just call him a kicker. Come on, dude! Hey, this is football. The NFL plays here. That's all the primetime games, playoff, and Super Bowl 56 on your home for the NFL.
Let's go now.
1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic.
David Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. I was listening to the action update. I think I'm onto something. I think Trey Westerberg might have lost his soul in a card game with Brett Musburger. The Arizona Cardinals are on the road playing today, or they're at home against the Seahawks, and the Seahawks are going to play it, and then the bet's in him. And that guy sounds like he has no joy left.
Troy Westerberg.
Yeah, Brett Musburger reached down inside him, took his soul, and just ate it.
Well, you know what? Brent Musburger is a really good broadcaster. So if it keeps him alive, watch a little bit longer.
No, I think Trey Westerberg's only got a few days left. If you listen to that report, and of course there's a college football game on a Monday, but I won't be alive to see it, so we won't be doing any bets on that. My God! All right. So let's talk about your opponent for a second. The Seattle Seahawks. Pete Carroll is now saying he may have a line on the future for Adrian Peterson, and it's not on the field. He's saying, I think he'd make a great coach. So I'm thinking, all right, so if you hire him as an assistant coach, you basically have to say to all the players before he shows up, everybody wear a cup. Because hear me out. And if he asks you to go get a switch, it doesn't have to be a big one. I'm just saying. Wow. Does everybody forget that happened? I don't know. But he says there's a lot of things he could do, but he would be a very good coach, is what he says. So might see Adrian Peterson doing that in the future. My Colts, last week didn't, they didn't get it done. They could have got it done, but they didn't get it done against the Raiders. And my wife says she always looks at the psychology of teams. She'll see that in the Cardinals and she'll see that in other teams. And when she said that to me last week, I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure. She said they didn't come out. They didn't look like they were focused. They didn't look like they had that killer instinct. And I'm like, I don't know how that could be. I don't know how that could be. They could have clinched the playoffs with a win over the Raiders last week. Mm-hmm. Sure enough, here comes Darius Leonard saying, yeah, we did not practice well last week. Everybody was lackadaisical is the word he used. And he says, but this week, no, we're on fire. We're locked in. Damn, she was right. Because Darius Leonard saying, yeah, the practices weren't focused. They didn't have any energy. But this week, he says, no, this is it. We know what this is. And we are totally focused for it. So, here's hoping, right? Carson Wentz says, I've missed some things. I got to be better. Shut up, Carson. Everybody knows that. We don't need you to tell us that.
He's missed some things. Carson Wentz, per Pro Football Focus, is one of the least accurate quarterbacks in the NFL, and not by completion percentage, but they actually chart where the ball lands relative to wide receivers. I'm just saying.
Come over here. Yeah, don't do that.
I get reminded on a daily basis of how bad my team is.
Trust me, Keon.
Dan Snyder.
Tried to warn you.
I mean, he exists and he owns my football team, and I'll never be able to change that. So
Brent Musburger is going to come take your soul. All right. So this weekend, here's some NFL records that might get broken. Here's one for you. Most receiving yards. Calvin Johnson holds the current record with 1,964. Cooper Kupp of the Rams, he's coming into the weekend with 1,829, which means 136 yards. He gets the record.
I don't think he's going to get it. I think San Francisco shuts him down.
Oh, I don't know about that. You think San Francisco is capable of shutting down Cooper Kupp?
I think San Francisco is going to shut him down.
I'm going to disagree with that. As much as I think the Niners actually can beat the Rams, I don't think that you're shutting down Cooper Kupp because teams have been trying to shut down Cooper Kupp for 16 weeks and they haven't been able to do it. They haven't found what the secret is, and he's a damn good wide receiver.
And let me remind you of something. He had 163 yards in a game this season already. Guess who it was against? My Colts. And I've got a good defense. So I think it's very possible he gets those 136, but you got to play the game. All right. Another record that could fall, and it's another one that Cooper Kupp could break, is most receptions. Michael Thomas, number one with 149. Cooper already has 138, which is already the third highest total in history. He'll need 12 this weekend to overtake Thomas. Again, though, extra week. I don't know how much of these things we got to take seriously. Most sacks. We already talked about that. TJ Watt has 21 and a half. Michael Strahan had 22 and a half. But again, one of those sacks Brett Favre gave to Michael Strahan, and TJ Watt has an extra week. So, most completions. That's one record Tom Brady doesn't have, but he could get it against the Panthers on Sunday. Drew Brees has that one right now, 471. Brady has 456. So he only needs 16, and he's thrown at least 18 in every game this season. So
that one's probably going down then.
Yeah. Most passing yards. Another one that Brady is chasing down. Peyton Manning still king of the hill right now, 5,477. So Tom Brady would need 488 this weekend, but that's not likely. His best performance so far this year was 432 yards in week 3. So could it happen? Maybe. Not likely. I don't know. It is the Panthers, though.
It is the Panthers, but you subtract Antonio Brown, you subtract Chris Godwin. Your receiving core is actually lesser than what it was at any point this season.
Right.
That's a tough one to knock over.
Yeah.
And remember, Brady's only got 488 yards twice in his career. He threw for 517 against the Dolphins back in 2017 and 505 yards when they lost the Eagles in Super Bowl 52 back in 2018. So, that one. How about this? Most attempts. Matthew Stafford holds the record with 727, and Tom Brady is 46 attempts away from breaking that. Let's see. Most interceptions. This one was set. Do you know who this is? Who has that record? It's an old one. 1952.
Really?
The most interceptions record is held by Night Train Lane of the Los Angeles Rams. He had 14 picks, and that was back when there were only 12 games in a season. So Trayvon Diggs of the Dallas Cowboys, he needs 3 to tie, 4 to take over first place. But in a single game, it's probably not likely, right?
Probably not. I mean,
can't see that happening.
You would have to somehow bring Jay Cutler back to the league and play against him in order
smoking Jay Cutler
to have that record be broken.
And nobody wants that. All right. So incentive wise, Antonio Brown just sort of moronically passed on his chance of making his money in incentives by his acting up. But, Tom Brady understands about incentives. We've seen him help people out with incentives. In fact, he helped Antonio Brown out with incentives last year. Well, now he himself can hit $562,000, because of the running game. That's right. He's got all sorts of stuff in his contract about incentives, but he'd already hit a $500,000 bonus throwing 40 touchdown passes. It's strange how many different incentives they'll put on him, but he doesn't even have to do the running, but he does have a $562,000 bonus if Ronald Jones, Keyshawn Vaughn, Le'Veon Bell, and the Buccaneers offensive line do what they need to do. They average 4.35 yards a carry. And if they finish with higher yards per carry average than last season, he gets that bonus. Now, I don't understand how they figure he should get the bonus for that.
Well, he's the one that's checking off passes into run plays.
He's
the field in general.
Weird.
Yeah.
So he doesn't drop a handoff. That's why he gets it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
You have to ask the team and the agent. I mean, that's an expert move by the agent, getting that incentive in there because it's not something that he has to do at all.
Yeah. There's also a $500,000 incentive as long as Bruce Arians wears his little backpack thing in the front of him to the right side, not the left side. What is the point of that? Now, Chris Jones, he has $1.25 million on the line this week versus the Broncos because he just needs one more sack to reach his incentive.
Wow.
One more.
And it's just $1 million? I thought it was more than that.
1.25.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he has 9 sacks in 13 games, and if he gets to double-digit sacks for the second time in his career, bam, $1 million, and then some.
I think that's crazy. These guys get a huge salary, and then they get these enormous bonuses.
Well, yeah, actually, the incentive thing is how they get them in under the cap.
Right.
Like if you want to know, right. That's exactly what I was going to say there, Jeffrey. It is like, if you want to know how the Rams are doing this, how can they structure all of this stuff? A lot of the deal is not actually what you get here reported. It's a lot of bonus stuff. It's a lot of incentive based stuff. And in fact, when teams put out that, oh yeah, we're paying this guy, $7 million, maybe $3.5 million is actually paid to the guy up front, and $3.5 million is actually capable of being earned. So maybe the team never pays the guy the $7 million at all.
And this is actually a good gamble by the Chiefs because, Chris Jones has always been hit and miss, boom or bust when it comes to sacks. He'll get on fire and then he'll go quiet for a while. So, that worked out in their favor. Everybody wins on the incentives, I guess. Jamar Chase, by the way, I think he's going to play this week, but maybe he won't. But if he does, he could break a 61-year-old rookie receiving record. Yeah, that's right. So I guess what he has to get to is 1,473 yards, because that's the record set by Bill Groman of the Houston Oilers back in 1960. And so how close is, I think he's 45 yards off. That's right. He has 1,429. So he has to have half a good game, and he's got the record. So maybe they'll play him until he gets that record, and then very quietly put him aside in preparation for the Colts.
Boy, could be. You might see that, but Joe Burrow's not playing. I know that.
Right. Well, I think they got to give Jamar Chase a chance. They got to give him a chance to get that, unless he doesn't care about it. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's a 61-year-old record. That shows you how hard that is.
How many millions of dollars does he get if he breaks that?
He's a rookie. He just gets the record. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Jaguars have put CJ Beathard on the COVID-19 list. Just thought you should know that.
It's pronounced Bethard.
No, not here on this show. It's not.
Okay.
Why don't you mind your own business, Keon? Nobody asked you.
I told you he was going to make your life hard.
I know.
What the hell, man.
I asked for it. And walked right into it.
Boomer Sooner says Keon's right. The bonus money and the incentive money, I don't believe counts against the hard salary cap. Mick Bluffin says, will Brady start throwing blocks to help the run game? No. Okay, he doesn't need that $500,000. He doesn't. If he gets it, great. That's nice, but no.
And speaking of, that's another probably $500,000 they were able to sneak into the contract for Brady, just so he could have it without it counting against the cap, stuff like that.
Booger Wolf says Washington football holds the current record for registered idiots as fans.
Well,
wow,
hold on. Wait,
that's not very nice.
We're
You can't
not
blame the
Philadelphia.
fans.
What are you talking about?
The hell?
We
What's
never
going on,
threw
Booger Wolf?
batteries at Santa.
Yeah, Santa would never show up at your field. It's too dangerous.
Yeah, he might roll an ankle or tear an
Thanks,
ACL or blood an Achilles, or I don't know, pick an injury.
Sewage could fall out of the ceiling on Santa. You just can't do that. Sun Devil Niner says we're 5-0 versus the Lambs last 5 games. Go Niners, he says. The Niners do have the Rams number. They absolutely do.
Well, that's who I'm picking this weekend.
Even you'll say the same thing about the Jaguars having the Colts number. I think the 49ers have a better shot at the Rams than the Jaguars do at the Colts this weekend.
The Jaguars have won 2 games this season, and 1 game they won by scoring exactly 9 points. I don't think they're beating the Colts in this universe or any universe.
I swear to God, we've just over the
it's a lot.
Yeah, over the course of this show, especially since 2018, the words "if my team loses, I'm not coming in on Monday" has been uttered many, many times.
Oh yeah.
I'm not even bleeping kidding you. I will not be here Monday. I'm if the Colts lose the Jaguars.
If the Colts lose to the Jaguars, I will just text you and ask you what you would like us to cover.
You just do whatever the hell you want because I don't care. I don't care. Just tell Radio Ron to get the Indeed app ready because I'm not going to be here. I'm had enough. If the Colts do that to me, I'm done. Mr. Pringle says, forgot to ask the betting guy if there's a prop bet on how many times a show Jeffrey will say, my wife is my best friend. So if I mention her, it's just like you guys mentioning somebody else. So, I'm sorry you were either alone and horrible looking and can't find a mate, or you're just such an a-hole that nobody wants to be around you, Mr. Pringle. But my wife is amazing. I love her, and I don't give a damn what anybody thinks if I mention her.
Plus, your wife knows football, which is just...
I know.
I would bring it up all the time, too. Personally.
See, and she likes beer, and she watches every single game with me, and we watch all the games. So, yeah. Sorry, Miss Pringle, your life is horrible, but my wife is awesome.
Wow.
Got to take a break. When we come back, we have On This Date in Big Georgia sports history, more NFL stuff. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Only Wendy's serves a better breakfast with a better biscuit. Our hot buttery breakfast biscuits are loaded with a fresh cracked egg, cheese, and your choice of bacon or sausage. Did we mention the part where Wendy's biscuits are hot and buttery?
Wendy's breakfast biscuits, hot and buttery.
So don't take a chance with those other guys. Bet on a better breakfast with Wendy's bacon or sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours. Are you a planner? Do you like to plan ahead? Then, of course, you already have a plan to call Harmon Solar, right? Bruce Jacobs here. It should be at the top of your list to get solar now and enjoy huge savings next summer. Up to 85% on your monthly bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Then you can plan what to do with all that extra money. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, women-owned, local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
Hi, this is Nick LaCapria with the Daily Sports Quiz. You know, in the history of Major League Baseball, after 3 years as the right-hand man for the Dodger owner, Walter O'Malley, Buzzy Bavasi left to take over what expansion team? The answer is coming up.
Now that it's legal to bet on sports here in Phoenix, the interest in sports has more than tripled. Stay on top of the sports action at phoenixsports.digital. Phoenix Sports Trivia keeps you updated and keeps you connected with plenty of sources to get the latest on all the games from all the sports. Here's a bonus sports trivia question. What was baseball's first organized team? The answer is at phoenixsports.digital. Your source for all things sports. phoenixsports.digital. Log on now.
The answer to today's Daily Sports Quiz, name the team that the great Buzzy Bavasi would take over: the San Diego Padres. Bavasi just never had quite the success as he did with the Dodgers. Buzzy Bavasi, the answer to today's Daily Sports Quiz.
Your favorite radio station.
And now you're up to date on the news. Stand by for weather and traffic right after this.
It wakes you up, starts your day, and keeps you informed as well as entertained.
You guys are absolutely the best.
How do you like to work here?
At the Fanatic, we're looking for commissioned sales reps to knock on doors, set up appointments, and extol the benefits of advertising with your favorite radio station. Send your resume to jobs at 1580thefanatic.com.
Today, someone will clearly understand their doctor because they have an Arizona licensed American Sign Language interpreter at the appointment. Today, someone will use a voice amplifying device to have a meaningful conversation. Today, someone among the more than 1 million deaf, hard of hearing, and deafblind Arizonans will enjoy greater accessibility and effective communication thanks to the Arizona Commission for the Deaf and the Hard of Hearing. To learn more, visit acdhh.org, sponsored by the Arizona Commission for the Deaf and the Hard of Hearing.
Download our podcast at 1580thefanatic.com.
Don't be that guy.
Arizona's new exclusive home for live NFL games and Super Bowl 55.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Welcome back to the Daily Blender on this Friday, the final segment as we head for home and the weekend. Speaking of NFL, as we've been talking about, referring a friend to FanDuel Sportsbook could be your ticket to Super Bowl 56. When you refer a friend on the FanDuel Sportsbook, you'll be entered for a chance to win an all-expenses-paid trip to Super Bowl 56 for two. So don't miss FanDuel's biggest refer a friend offer. All you got to do is share your exclusive referral link from the Sportsbook app. So if you already have the FanDuel Sportsbook app, there is a referral link for you. Send it to your friend, and once your friend places any bet of $10 or more, both of you get $50, and you'll be entered into that Super Bowl sweepstakes for the all-expenses-paid trip to Super Bowl 56 for two. Go to download the FanDuel Sportsbook app, sign up today, refer a friend, get $50, and a bunch of different great offers. It is easy to use, and you get paid in as little as 2 hours when you win. Go to go to sportsbook.fanduel.com, sign up today, or you can go to the App Store and download the FanDuel Sports app to your phone. If you're new, sign up with the promo code Randy1580. That's Randy1580 to get your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. That's FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Remember, you got to be 21 or older and present in Arizona. Referred players must wager $10 or more within 28 days after signing up. Bonus issued as a site credit and is non-withdrawable and expires after 7 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. No purchase necessary for the Super Bowl ticket promotion. Super Bowl promotion closes this weekend. It's going to close on January 9th. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text Next Step to 53342. Jeffco.
All right, so we're all going to be watching some NFL this weekend. So, I'm sure people are going to be betting and stuff too. But I actually have something I'm going to do tomorrow morning because the games tomorrow don't start until around 2 p.m., right? So what I'm going to do, I don't know if you guys know this, but I just realized this, that, those little community lakes and ponds and stuff, sometimes they're in a park, sometimes they're just off the road. They got a lot of free ducks laying around out there. I think I'm going to go get me a free duck. What? No. Why would you do that?
First, you're screaming into a bush at 5:30. Now you're going to steal ducks from public urban ponds.
It's not steal. They're free. Yeah. If you could just grab one, that's yours.
What do you need a duck? What do you need a duck for?
Well, I'd love to have a pet duck in the backyard.
Oh, I see. As a pet, I thought you were going to cook this duck.
No. I would. Ducks are greasy. I've had duck at a restaurant, and they're greasy.
Are you going to clip the wings so the duck cannot fly off from your pool in the backyard? Then
I'm going to do that. That's a horrible thing to do to a duck.
Well,
and I'm not going to put it in the pool. I'm just going to let it. That duck is going to love me and be my friend. The duck is going to be like. And I've got a whole loaf of bread. Like, get in the car. Come on, get in the car. Yeah. I got a whole loaf of bread right here. It's all yours, and there's more bread at the house. So come on, man. And then why would it leave my yard knowing I've got a straight line to nothing but good, wholesome bread?
Because the duck is a. I don't know why that fired. The duck is wild. That's why. The duck likes to go into ponds. The duck likes to go down.
Wild my ass.
The stuff on that. Well, your ass is wild, and I appreciate it from afar. However, hey, listen, it has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Quit outing me on the radio here. But the bottom line is, duck is wild.
Yeah, I know. But when I go to the pond and I start throwing bread in, they all come over to me. That's not wild. There's nothing wild about that. But if I go out there to the pond and I hold up the loaf of bread, they're all going to come up and be like, ooh, me. I'm like, all right, who wants to get in the car? Let's go.
No.
They will all follow you to the car, by the way.
The mama ducks have taught them about stranger danger in the loaf of bread.
Well, I'm just going to feed them bread in the backyard. I ain't going to diddle them or nothing. I mean, I ain't going to do nothing wrong.
Didn't say you were. And if you're going to put them in the backyard, they're going to go right into your pool. You realize
that's fine. I don't care. Nobody hardly ever goes in our pool to begin with. I don't know why I have a pool. Nobody wants to swim in it.
As soon as a female duck goes overhead or a male duck goes overhead, depending on what sex of the duck you get, they're gone.
Well, no. What'll be is this: the duck in the yard's going to go, hey, I got a line on a good thing here.
Don't think so.
Bread, much bread. Get down in here with me, and let's cohabitate in this big square pool. I think that's why nobody wants to get in my pool. It's kind of rectangular. Mr. Pink Eye says, "Oh, ducks are dirty." Ukla says, "Leave those ducks alone." Wiggy my piggy says, "Jeffrey, over the years, I've learned that a duck's opinion of me is highly based on whether or not I have bread. That's why I show up with a full loaf." Wiggy my piggy.
It's the only opinion that a duck has on people.
By the way, I don't know if you guys know this or not, and I waited till the end of the show just to be safe, but today is National Pass Gas Day. That's actually a national day.
Wow.
You're encouraged for the rest of the day to be loud and proud about breaking your wind.
No.
I mean, you do whatever you want.
No.
That's why I waited till the end of the show. A poll a while back found that 16% of people are proud of their flatulence and will almost always admit that they're the one that did it. I try to be polite. In fact, yesterday when Ralph was in studio all day, I didn't blow a butt rumble once. I was very polite about that. And I never do that in front of my wife.
But before we went on the air, you almost broke the microphones.
Not yesterday, probably today. So anyways, just know that today is National Pass Gas Day. So enjoy that. And speaking of that, Taco Bell has launched a $10 a month subscription service.
What?
Yeah. I don't know why they would do that. I don't know if it's a great idea or just a challenge, but maybe the health advisory. They must be successful. They tested it somewhere. It's called the Taco Lovers Pass. And what you do is you pay $10 a month, and then you're able to go over there and get a free taco every day. Yeah, but how often would you actually do that?
Wow.
Yeah, the thing is, if you're going to eat at Taco Bell that often, one taco probably isn't going to work for you. So you'll probably end up buying something else anyway. And I think that's how they plan on doing it.
But it made sense that they launched this idea on National Pass Gas Day. That at least did make sense. Anyway, so
marketing geniuses over there at Taco Bell.
Those are a couple of things I just felt like everybody should know. And now it is time, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, crap. I dropped it. But hold on. I got it. It's time now for. Why do you keep hitting that? Why do you keep hitting it?
You dropped it. I didn't know how long it was going to be. I was just going to.
You're not
see
helpful.
if it was no. Okay.
I know you think you're helpful, but you're not helpful.
I'm very helpful.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for On This Date in Big George's Sports History. Back in the year 1972, the Los Angeles Lakers extended their record-shattering win streak to 33 straight games by beating down the Atlanta Hawks, 134-90. Jim McMillan led the way along with Gail Goodrich as the Lakers kept their win streak alive. The Lakers' last loss came over 2 months prior on Halloween. Lakers' 33-game winning streak is a record unlikely to be broken. That was George saying that. I'm not saying that. You know, I don't like to say that. Unlikely to be broken. Records are made to be broken.
Well, not only that, it was Laker news. And I'd like to start a motion right now, all in favor of never talking about the Lakers on this show, unless it's in a losing fashion. Say aye.
Keon, you need to say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carried.
All right, motion carried. We will no longer talk about the Lakers in any fashion other than they're losing.
Yeah, I needed you to say that because I wanted to say motion carried.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right. We have another one for you. This time it's old timey. Ladies and gentlemen, on this date in Big Georgie's old timey sports history. Back in the year 1889, Walter Camp, the Yale coach and father of football who turned English rugby into an American game, named his first All-American football team, creating a tradition that has lasted for more than a century. Original All-Americans included two Yaleys, Amos Alonzo Stagg, later a famous coach, and guard William Pudge Heffelfinger, the first pro NFL player, along with a young Dale Hellestray. Back to me, Jeffrey. Yeah, 1889. That's right. That sounds about right.
Dale looks good. Dale looks good for being over 100 years old.
Yeah. All right. So now I think we should just spin the wheel of sports. That's what I think we should do now, don't you think?
All right.
I agree. Let's just do it. See what we talk about next randomly and land on this one. Somebody filed a $6 billion lawsuit against the New York Giants and the New York Jets. Now I understand because I have often wondered the same thing and grumped about it, but I've never filed a $6 billion lawsuit. What is the lawsuit for? It's, saying that the teams actually play in New Jersey. They shouldn't say they're in New York. So they're suing for that. They're suing, saying that there's monetary damages, $2 billion, $4 billion in punitive, saying the teams have participated in false advertising and deceptive practices. It claims fans living in New York have suffered mental and emotional damage, including depression, sadness, and anxiety because of the actions of the teams, claiming they are also New York teams, when in fact they are just horrible, lousy New Jersey teams.
Wow.
I think that the lawsuit probably would have been better served if they had just said these are teams that claim to be football teams.
That would have made more sense. I also would have expected the lawsuit to come from New Jersey, asking New York to take the teams back. That I thought was where we were going.
Yeah, it's a New Yorker, and they just feel like, well, this is just too humiliating for all of us, and we're losing sleep, and it's embarrassing to about the Giants and the Jets. So
wow,
yeah. So I don't know if they're going to win this. I'm guessing no. But imagine they just settled. That could be something. You know what I mean? But yeah, they say if the Giants and the Jets want to call themselves New York teams, they need to come back to New York. Yeah, they can't be in the New Jersey anymore.
Can I sue Dan Snyder? Because Washington, they play in Landover, Maryland. They do not actually play in the nation's capital. Can I sue Daniel Snyder for?
There you go.
I think you should. I think you should do that. Get a copy of this lawsuit and just put the change the names to Washington team and then stuff. And well, who knows? Maybe you'll get a few bucks. You know what I mean? A lot of times they'll settle these sorts of things just to make you go away.
I'm doing it.
Doing it. All right. We support you. We'll get Big George will be your lawyer on this. I know Big George will be happy to be a participant in a frivolous lawsuit. Spin the wheel, Randy. Let's see what we got here. Well, I figure this upcoming halftime show, well, it would have been great 20 years ago, and now I'm not so sure. Maybe it'll be fun because it's just retro, whatever. But Dr. Dre is going to be doing this show with Eminem, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar, and Mary J. Blige. And but if the show gets canceled due to COVID, turns out Dr. Dre is going to be out millions of dollars. He's putting up most of the money for the show himself, and he does have an event cancellation insurance, sure, but there's a catch. Ever since the SARS outbreak in the early 2000s, insurance companies have been building communicable disease exceptions into those policies. So basically, the one thing that can lead to the cancellation of the show at this point is the one thing he's not insured for.
Oh boy,
that seems short-sighted.
I mean, he's got millions to spare. Let's not kid ourselves.
Right.
He did just shell out $100 million in his divorce settlement. So yeah, I'm sure he won't be happy losing these couple million, but he'll be okay. It's not going to be the end of the world.
Right. It's just Dr. Dre is more businessman than rapper these days. And it just seems weird that oversight kind of went past him.
Yeah. So if you don't keep the Super Bowl going for the players and the fans,
do it for the Dre.
All right, guys, that is it for us. Sorry to all you guys for the texts I did not get a chance to read. Come on back next Monday. We'll have plenty of time to talk then, too. Have a great weekend, and let's enjoy the football. Go Colts, go Cardinals, and whatever happens to Washington. It's the Daily Blender.
Only Wendy's serves a better breakfast with a better biscuit.